news about Lewis Hamilton, but we'll talk about more about that in just a jiffy as well then. Yeah, so great stuff indeed then. Well, it's not great stuff, is it? But of course what is great stuff is that we're driving here tonight in Mexico at the for bronze as well here tonight then, and let's just take a look at this circuit. And it is 17 turns around this 2.6 mile circuit, and let's just quickly catch up, shall we, on what is occurring then. And what is occurring then in the world of Formula 1, then we've got Mazepin, who's now been confirmed as probably the worst kept secret on the Formula 1 paddock, isn't it? Mazepin is now a part of Haas team, and it'll probably be followed by Mick Schumacher, won't it? I know, I love it, and I'm really happy to see that Mick Schumacher is Schumacher's going to be on the grid next season. Good gosh, there, I don't know what year are we in. We could be like 96 next year. We're going to have Verstappen, we're going to have Schumacher. Goodness gracious me! Absolutely amazing stuff, isn't it? Unfortunately, we'll not have a Magnussen on the grid then, by the sounds of it, as Kevin Magnussen will be off in America, won't he? Which is, I'm absolutely disappointed because I love Kevin Magnussen. He's amazing. There you go. Of course, as just always starting off the stream, then unfortunately, Lewis Hamilton's caught the dreaded virus, hasn't he? Unfortunately, luckily, if there is any kind of luck, that he seems to be okay, doesn't he? Really? So I think it was really nasty. It was really nasty to see. Nasty news to come up on your phone right in this morning, wasn't it? And that is, I'm a big old Hamilton fanboy, so I was very distraught to see that. Well, I was very distraught to see Perez as well getting the awful virus as well, then, which has really shook the year, hasn't it? But fingers crossed, Hamilton can be back and raring to go in Abu Dhabi. Having said that, Abu Dhabi's got very strict guidelines, hasn't it, on the virus? So that might be the last time we see Hamilton race this season, won't we? It was back in the Bahrain one, wasn't it? And the question does turn about who's going to be replacing Hamilton. That is definitely going to be a question on everyone's lips, isn't it? On everyone's mind and lips. And of course, we've already had the super sub Nico Hulkenberg, haven't we, mentioned? But I think it might be Stoffel Van Dorn next. He's actually travelling to Bahrain, isn't he? As we speak, he's done his Formula E test. But there you go. Then a lot of interesting stories going around the paddock today in Formula One. But hopefully, I really hope Hamilton has a speedy recovery like Stroll and Perez did. Right, anyway, let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we, from bronze then. And it is Velocity. He is almost home and dry, isn't he? It is very much the championship. His destiny is in his hands tonight, isn't it? He was so close to win the title last time out in the United States there, and but unfortunately had a penalty in the end. But Energetics and Velocity had a great old scrap, didn't they? I'm hoping more of the same here tonight. If they finish like they did in America last week, then that's it. It's done and dusted, really. So that's it. That is it. In the constructors, the championship is already done as well. We'll talk about that in just a few moments. But yeah, Velocity then so close then. I think Energetics needs to score at least 22 points tonight to even keep himself in the championship, and that is without. Even without Velocity scoring. So a big mountain to climb then for Velocity, for Energetics here tonight. Nunda, unfortunately, I don't think he's here tonight, but he is propelled himself up until the final promotion spot. He is currently third at the moment now, but oh my goodness me, we have rain, it's a deluge, oh my word. I know, dear, that's not good, is it? In Mexico, I wasn't expecting rain, and that has really thrown a curveball, hasn't it? Goodness gracious me then, and that is a shock to the system, isn't it? 20 seconds into this, and I've already fumbled the championship, I've already fumbled a lot of other things as well, but I didn't expect rain on this potentially pivotal championship day, and championship coronation as well. We'll come back to the track conditions in just a few moments, and let me quickly just tick off what I was doing then, as there's a Red Bull coming out of the pits now as well. So we have got Nunu's just gone up to third position there. Newman is dropped down to fourth, and he missed last time up, but he's back in action here tonight. And Mike, who's about, he's dropping back slightly, Mikey's. He's now 30 points behind Newman and 34 points behind Nunda as well. And so Mike still has a chance, though, doesn't he? I think, that Hammers has formed as of late, then he could even squeeze himself into that maybe promotion spot as well. Hammers has been brilliant, hasn't he? Curly Red has jumped in front of Ayrton, and Curly Red is now 7th. Ayrton 8th. Rempo and Bradfield are 9th and 10th position as well. Smithy has just gone up from 17th, from 20th to 17th as well. Good stuff indeed there from Swiffy D. In the constructors then, as we already mentioned, it's all home and dry, isn't it? And of course, Williams ain't going to be dry here tonight. Far from it. But of course, Williams are now the constructors, world champions for bronze. And congratulations to Williams. Good stuff indeed then. McLaren are second. They're 79 points in front of Alfa Romeo. Potentially they can seal their second place in the constructors here tonight as well. Fourth position is the AlphaTauri team, who are 64 points behind their Alfa Romeo counterparts. Ferrari are fifth position with Renault in sixth position. It's Renault and Haas are quite close, so 4 points separates those two cars. Teams, I should say. Racing Point are in eighth position. Mercedes is down into ninth, and they have swapped positions. Mercedes and Racing Point have, and Red Bull are in the bottom at the moment then. On board with Cummings at the moment. Of course, Cummings is such a quick racing driver. Can he get some points? So that is the question he needs to be doing tonight then, is can he get some points? So we've got intermediate tyres for Cartboy and Velocity then, so this is going to be interesting. But look at this. This is a heavy amount of rain going on, isn't it? Good gracious me then. Just taking a look at the comments there as well, as we are just watching Cummings coming down the bike straight as well. No DRS at this stage because it is too wet, isn't it? For these drivers at the moment. And oh goodness me, and Smithy there was just parked on the inside there of turn 2 then. That was getting a bit squeezy, wasn't it? Broke Grillis ain't even shown Velocity for the race win and Energetics for the pole then. And of course I think that Broke Grillis definitely knowing the form book, doesn't he? Energetics is very good at qualifying, but and race trim Velocity is absolutely almighty, isn't he? We got Hannah saying, guess he's back again. Go Hannah's back, tell a friend. We've also got Ayrton saying, hello Sean, hello Ayrton. We got Wilson saying, shame Grosjean's career ended how it did, can't see him recovering in time for Abu Dhabi. No, he's but I gotta say then, there has been positive news on Instagram for Roman Grosjean, of course, as he was doing some squats today as well, and it's good to see him back on his feet as well, so brilliant stuff from Grosjean. And I was not a fan of Halo, to be honest. I was one of the people that was very much against the Halo on the Formula 1 cars, but I gotta say, I think it's worth its weight in gold now, isn't it? Of course, if that Halo wasn't there on Sunday. Oh, it's Cummings has gone off there, and he's almost brushed the wall. He got on the pull-out pedal a bit too heavily there, hasn't he? That just shows the torque of these Formula 1 cars, doesn't it? It's very difficult in the wet as well. Energetics has gone fastest then as he crosses the line first, as Cummings is trying to recover the car. As he's still trying. He's got to get around quickly. Oh, he's in the barrier, isn't he? Of course, he would have been disqualified if he carried on where he was then. But Cummings was just trying to get himself sorted and back on into action as well. Ayrton's gone second fastest at the moment in the Mercedes, and Mercedes are currently not in the construction. Mercedes and Racing Point have got an almighty back there. That was Ayrton's own team, wasn't it? Back then, talking Racing Point, Curly Red has gone into a second fastest moment, and Curly Red's also moved up to 7th in the driver's standings as well. And we've also got Ghost and going up into second position. I think this is the third time Ghost has appeared here in Mexico. Same with Cartboy as well. Goodness me, they're going to be dreaming about this track in their sleep, aren't they? Good gosh. Car is gone into the 30.6 at the moment. Then he's on the intermediate tyres. That's a more shallower groove, isn't it? Those intermediate tyres are. Then we've got Gunnar, who's just gone up into 5th fast at the moment in the Racing Point. Roscoe is in 7th position now, a couple of tenths away behind his teammate at the moment then. Smithy is coming into the S as well. I'm wondering who was actually going to be doing practice then in this wet weather conditions. I wouldn't even have thought about doing practice in the wet in Mexico. This has absolutely really gone against the grain, hasn't it? Sloth there going second. Remember, he was amazing in the wet, wasn't he? In the I think it's a Russian Grand Prix, wasn't it? I remember Sloth being absolutely on it like a car bonnet in one of the wet weather sessions. I can't remember which one it was, but he's once again up there, isn't he? 3 tenths of a second behind, and he crossed the line first in his debut race, didn't he? In Russia, he was brilliant, wasn't he, Sloth? And hopefully he can carry on that momentum now. Of course, this is his 4th Grand Prix start in bronze, and I gotta say, I think he's a brilliant driver, isn't he? Velocity is invalidated this time, and Mike is back in the pits while it is very wet out there. As Cummings there has just come back out on the circuit as well then. As oh my goodness me then, as I thought that there was going to be coming to blows there. We just got Curly, who has found 6 tenths of second in that lap then. He is now up into 2nd fastest in the Racing Point at the moment as well then. Going back to the Halo then, is before Cummings was around was the is a Red Bow. It's gone in, is the 5th fastest runner with Yashi in 6th position as well. The Halo that is worth its weight in gold. Then I was against the Halo. I gotta say I was saying, and it just doesn't look right. Formula 1 car should be proper open cockpit, but yeah, I think I was converted after the I think it was the Belgian Grand Prix where it was really first tested. Yashi has gone into full fast at the moment, and it was the Belgian Grand Prix I think when when Alonso went over Leclerc, and you seen the marks of where Alonso's McLaren landed on Leclerc's Halo. I think that was then I really was like, yeah, the Halo is definitely yeah, it's been amazing, hasn't it? A couple of times now, it's really saved drivers, hasn't it? Of course, George Russell might have had a close call, didn't he, in the Belgian Grand Prix as well? Again, actually, where Giovinazzi's wheel come across him, didn't he? And that, oh my goodness me, what is going on here? Then we got Smithy and Cummings who just very close to each other. Then they come across the line, and Smithy D has found a second there. Well, second in the 10th as well. There's a McLaren coming out of the pits as well. Then, and yeah, just to sum it up, really, I think that. The Halo is absolutely yeah, I would if I was against the Halo, I've been converted many times, and of course I think Sunday I gotta say we're all I think that the Halo has been one of the best safety devices on Formula 1 cars, and so yeah, absolutely good stuff, isn't it? Farfis has asked, it's just asked, guess who's back again. I'm not sure. Has everyone been watching? Has been listening to a bit of Eminem tonight? Then goodness me, then we're throwing ourselves back. I do love. I quite like Eminem actually. That's one of my more cooler tastes of music, isn't it? Not like Backstreet Boys and Steps and Spice Girls. I have a very wide range of music taste, but yeah, but Eminem is also one of them as well. I also do love M&Ms actually. They're very nice sweeties. Just watching Cummings coming through the S's at the moment. Wilson saying, "Wow, it's a wet race too." Then Hannah saying, "Not you." I think that was a response into the form of in the form of Farfed. I am Sloth there, as I think he's had a oh my goodness me! I've just looked up, and Cummings is in the wall. Oh yes, he's he's had 2 incidents already in this qualifying session, and he is out of the Mexican Grand Prix qualifying, and that is a shame. And both Red Bulls were on the back row of the grid last night. It's going to be the same again here tonight as it stands at the moment. It's a teammate having to take evasive action. Oh, Cummings is out of this qualifying session as well. What a shame now for Cummings. He was already around in the stadium sector, and now he's around again. It just shows how difficult it is out there on those full wet tires, and 2 men are really making it work on the intermediates. Well, one man has at the moment actually, and that's Cart Boy. He's having a second, brilliant stuff indeed. Then I'm sure Velocity was out on intermediate tires, but I think he's come back into the pits. Camera Racer has just gone at 10th fastest at the moment. Then good stuff indeed. Then for Camera Racer, so it will not be a all Red Bull back row as well. On board with Mike at the moment. Velocity is also on the circuit as well, as is Sean Hammers. Then as he is coming into the final part of the lap as well. Then we've got Serious Mushroom even though then Hannah's saying shame that Gordo didn't score yesterday. He's a banging driver. Yeah, Gordo's I think that Gordo is probably in the frame for one of the most improved drivers of the season as well. And of course that is good, and that's going to be a topic for discussion over the next few days, and we'll talk more about that later on in the night, if I remember, of course. Sean Hammers coming through the final turn, and then Sean Hammers has gone 5th fastest, looking very good indeed. Then Mike is now back in the McLaren, and of course he was in the Williams last night, Mike was, and he might be, and I think that the Williams team will be thanking him, I think, because he scored 4 valuable points for the Williams team last night, which has actually propelled him in front of the McLaren in the silver division there. So Mike was kind of like racing against the enemy, so to speak, last night, racing with the enemy, I think, so to speak, last night. But of course he did a very good job for the Williams team, didn't he? But he's dropped back to the McLaren. He's dropped into the McLaren team tonight, hasn't he? And gone back to and of course there's 2 different divisions, of course, so it ain't going to harm his team's chances here tonight then, of course. But yeah, good stuff indeed there from Mike there. Good 8th finish there, and that was a valuable performance there from the for the Williams team as well. And here comes the Williams. They may be last, well, they may be 9th, sorry, in the constructors in silver, while in bronze there the constructors world champions. They were also the constructors world champions in season 3 of gold as well. So Williams are looking very much at cream of the crop in gold and bronze. Then unfortunately silver has been a bit more difficult, hasn't it? Oh, lovely shot there from Energetics. He's done 5 laps on these soft tires. Well, they are they're very soft tires, the wet tires. But look at the rain there. Absolutely, it's going horizontal at the moment, isn't it? But Energetics is looking very strong at the moment, isn't he? But he's 3 seconds down at the moment as well. Then we've got Ghost saying my steering wheel is just like a hacksaw at the moment. Yeah, I think it's going to be like every other driver out there at the moment. And very difficult conditions indeed. We're watching Smithy, who is currently into qualifying 2 at the moment. And so can Smithy D be able to keep in qualifying 2? Camera Racer half a second up in the first intermediate split time as well. Cummings saying cannot drive in the wet. Then we've also got so we've also got and we got a couple of I think the Cummings said West End, and then we got Serious Russia and Hannah saying that Serious Russia saying that it should drive in the north, and Hannah saying why should drive in the east end. So Cummings he did mean west, but Mexico is at west, so yeah, I suppose that. And also I learned a bit of geography as well. I got a question actually, to be fair, because I decided to I think Rembo threw out a survey in the Discord earlier on, and I have and of course there was a question on there about what gender were you, and there was one question on there about it being non-binary. I have no idea what non-binary is, so if someone can help me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. To be honest, I had a couple. That was probably the most difficult question on the forum as well. I did it whilst I was in a meeting then, so really that is just that just shows where my how good of a meeting that was. Twice I actually made this meeting fly by actually splendidly well then, but yeah, I had no idea I don't even know what non-binary means, but there you go. I think I found a new gender here today as well. You learn something new every day, don't you? Every day is a school day, isn't it? It certainly is for me there. Good gosh, there was just watching Diashi there fly past me in the Haas as well. Great 17th then from Diashi then, as he is now coming into the final part of the course as well then. Oh, Search Mercy say it doesn't it mean you don't identify yourself as a man or a woman. Oh, okay. Well, I probably should have. Went with non-binary then. I'm going to be honest. I thought it was some kind of like techie kind of speak then, because of course back in my early IT years, and of course binary meant the ones and zeros, and the computers were programmed by. Just watching Diashi go into 4 fastest at the moment then, and he is 5th fast I should say, and looking very good indeed. Then we've got Cartboy is looking very handy out on the intermediates, I must say that. We're just taking a look then. Swiftly D there's 1200 second down at the moment. They're very impressive stuff indeed then. And he is very much flying out there as well then. Of course, I think we also had there's also a picture as well to be liked for Energetics as well there. I think a picture of him when he was married as well then, so if anyone could also give it a like on Facebook as well, because I think he's in competition with Tractor or something like that. I don't really know what's behind it, to be honest. I had a quick glance today when I think it was later on in the day then, so I will give that a like after this race as well. And hopefully everyone else does as well then. Of course, we like Energetics is a winner on Formula 1. Now, can he also be the most liked picture as well? And to be honest, I think that as much as a tractor is probably a lovely piece of equipment, I think that your wedding day is probably the most special day of your life, isn't it? So that is a lot more important than a tractor. No offence to the tractor driver, of course. And I am also a big fan of tractors, because goodness me, Curly Red there, I gotta say, he was hacksawing away there. Gosh, there, that back end was just really wanting to squirm away from Curly Red there. But yeah, of course, give that a good old like as well. Then I am a fan of tractors, of course. I'm used to being from the Forest of Dean, of course. And Diashi going around once again, and we've got 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session, and Diashi is really starting to put his toe down as well. And we've had a lot of there's been a lot of discussion points in this qualifying session. I gotta say, I haven't really spoken much about the drivers, have I? but now I'm fully focused then, and ready to get going then, as we're now getting into turn 1 then. Diashi looking very strong on these wet weather conditions at the moment then. Rain looks like it's eased off at the moment, and Energetics has done 8-9 laps on those wet tyres, so Energetics there is really getting a feel for it as well. I wonder if it's going to be raining in the race then. That's going to be very good stuff then. So yeah, I'm wondering if it is going to be raining in the race then, because that is going to be really interesting indeed. I'm wondering who's going to put on the wet setup, who's going to put on the dry setup. When you're in the these days it's park firm, whatever setup you're on, you must do it for both qualifying and the race then. Of course, the wet setup you have more downforce then, so it's going to be slower, but of course you'll have much more. Basically, the car is planted to the mat, isn't it? But of course, you do want a high downforce, don't you, going down the back straight as well in the dry, of course, and so that is going to be I'm going to be on the edge of my seat then and determining whether it's going to be wet or not then. You may, any of you eagle-eyed viewers may notice that Gunnar is back in the action here tonight in bronze then, and he is in the race point as well. Roscoe, once again, has shown that he has got some speed, as well as he is currently 5th fastest in the Renault. He is now doing a good job as well. He's done 4 laps on those wet tyres, and velocity is also as well, but he's found 9/10 of a second then. I think the rain is easing up slow then. Let's see if the rain transitions into lighter rain, or maybe even into slick tyres later on this qualifying session then. We already have intermediate runners out there at the moment then, and Curly Red has gone up to 3rd position now, looking very strong indeed. Velocity is now 5/10 of a second away. Energetics is looking strong at the moment there, but as that stays as it is, and Velocity will be the world champion for bronze then. Good stuff indeed then, as Curly has dropped down to 5th now, as soon as I say that. Ghost has just gone up into well, it's just got qualified in 8th position as well. Rent both 3 seconds down, I should say there. Well, I say was is Sean Hammers there? Is he trying to get warmth into those wet tyres there? These wet tyres still needs a bit of warmth there to generate the grip there. He's coming out of the final turn, so I'm going to keep an eye on what Camera Racer does now. We've seen Cart, who come out earlier on then on those intermediate tyres. Now it's a special lap from Cart there to be 5th on those intermediate tyres, because it was absolutely pouring down with rain, wasn't it? Camera Racer's now on the intermediate tyres, where you can see that there is more of a drier line in the centre of the race circle as well then. This is going to get So Cameruso there, let's see what he can do. He's going to try and stay in those tram lines as much as possible, isn't he? Because I think that'll be the quicker route around here then. Hugh has just said there, Mexico! Yes, it's absolutely, we love a bit of Mexico, doesn't it? So I should have found my sombrero as well. But I don't think it would have been sombrero's weather today. Or perhaps it would have been. I'm not sure. There's sombrero's waterproof. I have no earthly idea. Yeah, either way then, you're definitely going to be needing a coat then here tonight. Karma, as Cart is just retired from the session, but he's safe and sound in the pit. Said Gurman has said rain now, and also rain now. And he's shown his disgust as well with a couple of emojis there. Gurman has, and of course, Gurman was a part of the winning formula of the Haas team this season now, and Haas secured the Constructors' Championship in such a fine perform last night for 1-2 as well. It was brilliant, wasn't it? Camera Racer there is improved by 0.2 of a second in the end, so it wasn't a big jump there. We got Gunnar, who's just into the stadium sector as well, and so that's the end of qualifying. And I think then that we have lost Murphy, who's in 16th position. Favre, who I was going to talk about, as Favre is back in the Alfa Romeo. That's the first time he's raced, I think, since around the French Grand Prix. Good stuff indeed there for Favre. Gunnar's got up and do a very solid third position there, looking very strong on the intermediate tires. Good stuff indeed there from Gunnar. So we have lost Murphy, Favre, Newman, and Cummings there, who went into the wall quite heavily. Mike down in 13th position at this moment in time then, I think he's just trying to get to the grips of those intermediate tyres. So really that was more of a warm-up session, wasn't it, for the real deal, which is coming up in just a few moments. And Cummings' impact with the wall is kind of made that more of a practice session. Wilson is saying it's fast towards the back. It really is. So we got Cummings, who, to be honest, he's been very unlucky, hasn't he, in his bronze career. He's been very quick, hasn't he, from the get-go. Remember his debut back in Spa, and really, unfortunately, his qualifying session was fantastic. I think he was second on the grid, wasn't he? And then Unfortunately, it was a bit too close going up to Rouge, wasn't it? So for Cummings then, and hopefully he can get some points on the board as well. I think he finished just outside the points in USA, so hopefully he can get some points tonight as well then. But then we've also got Favre in 17th position. As we mentioned, this is Favre's first race in a bronze for a very long time as well. So let me quickly get out my old spreadsheet. It was Canada was the last time he raced at Favre. And Favre is a former Grand Prix winner in bronze as well, isn't he? So good stuff indeed. That Falk was the early pace setter as well in this championship campaign then. We have also got Newman as well. Newman is a 3-time Grand Prix winner. No, I apologise. He's a 4-time Grand Prix winner. He's been on pole position twice this season as well, Newman has. He is 18th on the grid. And Murphy there, of course, he's a former Grand Prix winner in bronze as well. He won the final race of the season in bronze last season back in Azerbaijan, didn't he? He is 16th as well. Those 4 drivers are going to be absolutely... I'm going to be watching those 4 drivers with very keen interest to see if they can come through the field as well. It's no... there's no easy passes, so is there in bronze at the moment, is there? As I quickly get rid of all these, I've just got a load of tweets come up for some reason. That just shows that my phone is kind of like 20 hours behind. As of course, my Twitter just announced that Hamilton had COVID there. Anyway, we're into qualifying 2. We're about 2 seconds into this qualifying 2 session then. Let's get going again then, shall we? As Gunnar saying, loving the Irish weather there. He is absolutely having a good old splash out there, isn't he? Gunnar is brilliant stuff indeed then. Serious mushroom, nice slap, Gunnar lad then. Diashi is also enjoying it as well, brilliant stuff. Then Hugh is saying, and he loves this track. And Serious Russian there is going as hashtag Gunnar for president as well. So we might have a hashtag coming at the end of this one then as well. Say Trundle out of the pits then. It is intermediate weathers now then, but I gotta say the hang on. I gotta say then that it is still quite wet out there, so all these drivers are still going to have to use as every ounce of their skill that they have got in their gloves, in their boots, in their feet, and of course they're in their head as well then, because there may not be strategy calls in this qualifying session now, but it'd be interesting to see what they have done in terms of setup as well, as we are now just coming out of the grid as well. Camera racer there, the only Red Bull in this qualifying session is his teammate Cummings there, went into the wall there. Camera racer, of course, Red Bull there, up until a couple of races ago, they only had 16 points there. They've gone up to 44 quite rapidly there, with Camera Racer really doing some really good racing in over the last couple of weeks or so. And Cummings, I think, is going to just multiply the advantage there for the Red Bull even further if he can get himself in the top 10. He's got the pace to get himself in the top 10, but can he do it? On board with Sloth at the moment, as you can see in the only Ferrari in this session as well then. So we're Ferrari in the constructors, and Ferrari are currently 5th in the constructors. They're only 12 points in front of Renault, and Renault got a very strong team tonight with Roscoe and Cartboy, so we are expecting some high points then. So it's all on Sloth at the moment then, so let's see what Sloth can do in that Ferrari then. So this is going to get very interesting indeed then. Remember, tonight is all about well, no, it isn't all about really, because we've got so many things that needs to be decided in the last 3 rounds of bronze there, one of which is who's going to be in the final promotion places. At the moment, Nunda is carrying that burden at the moment, and he's only 4 points in front of Newman, who is starting 18th on the grid at the moment, so he needs to get himself up into the top 10. Mike is currently 34 points behind behind Nunda as well for that promotion place as well. Now let's see what Mike can do there. Nunda's really, in the second half of the season, has kind of flown up into that third position. That's been magnificent. It's a shame that Nunda's not here tonight then, but he will be hopefully be back in Brazil and Abu Dhabi in the next 2 weeks or so then. And of course, I can't believe it's only 2 weeks until the end of the season as well. And ALR, goodness gracious me then, it's been absolutely flying this season. That's fantastic. Software coming into the mini stadium sector as well of turn 6 then before accelerating away. The rain is getting a lot lighter now as well as there, and if the rain might clear out for qualifying 3 then we might get some slick tyre running as well. Yellow flag is fluttering in 1 then, so someone has come a cropper somewhere. Lovely shot from the Ferrari as they are going through the S's as well then. Other things that are that is up for grabs in the championship is, of course, the World Championship itself, and that is Velocity and Energetics. As we already mentioned, Energetics needs to score at least 22 points tonight then to keep himself in the championship running it. That means as a win, he just has to go for a win then, because of course 25 points is available for the win, only 18 for second then, so it's all or nothing now for Energetics. It's the win or nothing then, and even then Velocity just doesn't need to, I think he just basically needs to be 7 for higher really, doesn't he? So championship is almost there then. Sloth has gone fastest then. Ghost is second fastest in the Mercedes at the moment. And good stuff indeed there. Racing Point of Curly Red that he was very much at the top of the timesheets in the first qualifying session. He's only fourth at the moment then. And Rembo has gone third fast. Then we've got Velocity, who is putting a banker time of 27.7. Now Cart has gone into fourth fast as well then. I've got cramp in my calf as I quickly stretch it out there. Diashi is in 7th finish as well. We've got Ayrton going up into 9th. Mike has also got across the line. So of course this is an important day for both McLarens there. Both its third position contenders are on the back foot while Noonan's not here at all. We've got Newman, who is only 18th on the grid then. So Mike then, let's see what he can do then. Can he grab that brass ring with both hands then? Roscoe is gone into 6th fastest in the Renault as well, but he's a couple of tenths behind his teammate. Sean Hammers is slotted into 6th position then, a 10th a second behind as well. Sean Hammers could also potentially be in that third place running as well for promotion. Just shows how strong Hammers has come into this. Gunnar is absolutely flying out there. Look at, I can't even say his name, he's going so fast there. And I've got to say, serious question there. Hashtag Gunnar for president. Well, goodness me, Gunnar for pole at the moment. He's looking strong, isn't he? He is currently he's only a 10th away from Sloth at the moment. Good stuff indeed there. And Sloth is also showing that he's good in the wet as well. Ghost there has just gone quicker there, as he is now less than a couple of hundredths there behind Sloth at the moment. Good stuff indeed there. We've just got Curly now going fast. Well, they're finding time out there, and then Red Bow is now into the 26th. And it's the track getting quiet. Is the track getting drier, or is the drivers getting more confidence? I think it's a mixture of both. Having said that, the rain is still quite steadily coming down then. Cart has just gone up in the third position as well. There's a Haas in the background of Diaz as well. What about Smith then? Smithy then coming into the stadium sector as well then. Oh goodness me, then they're flying all past me at the moment. Great stuff indeed there. As now then going into the Mickey Mouse sector as well. Slothfair is going for another lap now then. So Slothfair had a lap and then he had a cool down lap before going again then. Of course a lot of the drivers are going to have their cars fueled up for a couple of runs there, because that is how you play the tricky conditions and tricky conditions in qualifying, isn't it? Because it's not about the weight of the car, is it, as much in the wet. It's more about the confidence in the driver, and the man who's got confidence at the moment is the World Championship leader Velocity, with Rembo second at this moment in time. Gunnar has gone down to 8th position around there, but it's a really good start to Gunnar's qualifying performance thus far. Ayrton 210 is second up, then Diashi on board with him then. It's going a bit wide down. That's a track invalidation there for Diashi, and that's unfortunate. What about Ghost then? It's Ghost is also in the pits as well then. And just watching Red Bull coming out of the Nigel Mansell turn then. And Red Bull then, let's see then, is she going to improve? Not quite then, she lost a 10th for a second there towards the end of the lap then. And we got a Racing Point coming across the line now. I didn't see who it was, I think it's Curly then. There's a lot of drivers now starting to come back in the pits. There's a Bollard in front. Oh my goodness me! And somehow Velocity keeps it out of the barrier. And that is critical, isn't it? Very critical tonight for Williams, of course. Well, for Velocity more than Williams then, because Williams have already won the Constructors' Standards, haven't they? It doesn't matter what happens after the last 3 races, but good gosh there, Velocity then, that was very lucky to keep himself out of the barrier at that stage there. And of course these cars can be quite fragile at times, can't they? Even a tap at the barrier there can really damage your suspension and end your session then. Sloth has gone second fastest in the Ferrari at the moment. Good stuff indeed then. Smithy then just coming through the same sector as well then. Camera Racer has found a second as well. We've got McLaren off in the background now. Gunnar dropping down to 11th because I think Roscoe's found some time as well in the Renault. Good stuff indeed there. Brilliant stuff indeed there for Roscoe there. In 9th position, and Cart is currently back in the pits at the moment as well. We have got Serious Russian not picking my top 3 this week, but in the rain anything could happen, and it usually does and indeed it does, doesn't it? Of course it is absolutely brilliant, isn't it? In ALR anyway, so it's very difficult to pick your top 3 in the dry as it is in bronzer, but in the wet there, it's really the form book is really going to be turned on its head there. If a form book had its head, then it's incredible, isn't it? So Curly comes out of the final turn, they found 2/10 of a second, almost 3/10 of a second in that race at point as well. At velocity, as I've just oh sorry, the cable's got stuck under my rolls there, so I almost lost me headset. And we have just got who's that? Energetics, and he's found a 10th per second then. But in this second qualifying session, then Energetics there is looks like it's a bit behind the 8 ball at the moment there, with championship protagonists currently leading this session away. Sloth is second, good performance there from the Ferrari driver. Energetics currently third at the moment. Remember, he did 8 or 9 laps, so didn't he, on those wet tires in qualifying one then. So I think that Energetics has got a car full of fuel at the moment now, hasn't he, in the Alfa Romeo? He might just be going round and round there, just trying to get himself going then. Hannah saying, go on, Sloth, and we've also got Serious Mushroom. That someone tell Becca that collecting points at F1 is not a good thing. As Hannah said, prediction, Sloth, Gooner. I believe in you, Gooner. And Hannah has also retracted a lot of messages as well, but I'm sure it was about, I think it was about Camera Racer there doing a fine job, I think. But he's down in 13th position as well. But he's just changed tyres. He's gone on a fresh set of intermediate tyres then. So let's see what that produced now. Curly Red there still going round at the moment. And Curly Red doing a similar thing to Energetics there. As we've already mentioned, it's a confidence thing, isn't it, in this wet weather. Curly Red there just underlines that as well. 5/10 a second he has found then on that lap as well. Moved himself up into 6th position there. A whisker behind Sean Hammers at the moment then in the AlphaTauri. Great stuff indeed then. This is going to be a great qualifying. I'm absolutely loving this. Energetics is 4/10 second down then. He is going to be carrying on though, because he is full of fuel, isn't he, in the Alfa Romeo. Of course, the all-time pole sitter record in bronze as well. He's doing a great job, isn't he? Energetics is in qualifying then, and I think at the race he's got quite a lot of wins, hasn't he? Energetics does. Diashi has found 4/10 second in the first sector. Look at that rain there, streaming horizontal, isn't it? As Serious Rush saying the rain is looking heavy again. I think it is as well. We were talking about maybe going to slick tires for qualifying 3. Well, that's a load of baloney, isn't it? As and baloney only belongs in sandwiches and not on circuits there. So it may even belong in my mouth as well, but that's for another day. Now Diashi, who is on a lap at the moment, yes, the rain's getting heavier. There is going to be a lot of concerned faces in the Mercedes garage, in the Haas garage, Williams and Red Bull and the Racing Point as well. But Diashi at the moment has found a 2nd and a 10th at the moment as he's coming out into the stadium sector as well. Look at how slow that they're going for the stadium sector. 35 miles an hour there is a Diashi out of turn 16 and into the Paratada, or half the Paratada, or basically it's called Nigel Mansell now. Out of the final turn then, and where does Diashi go? He puts himself in the 9th position, and that is it for Diashi then. Well, that's not it, but he is through at the moment, and that's where he needs to be aiming for. Good stuff indeed then. Gooner has lost the nose cone there. Well, he's lost the wing, I should say, and that is it. Turn 2 or 3, I think it is. So Gooner, oh dear, and he's got 3 minutes to get himself back. There's a short circuit. Carton has gone faster, so as yes, Carton third time a charm, and he's had 3 races at ALR. This is 3 races at ALR in Mexico. This is third attempt there as well, but Energetics said it's just just as I didn't even finish what I said, so Energetics has gone faster as well, and he has done 6 laps on the intermediate tires thus far, and Energetics has done a really good job there. He's nailed the wet conditions in qualifying so far. He is getting quicker and quicker. He started off slow and he's just getting quicker and quicker, isn't he? Great stuff indeed. Oh my goodness me! And snaking around, isn't he? Oh gosh, there. Sean Hammers has started his lap as well as he's coming down the back straight. You've got Williams at velocity in the background as well. Mike Denu's just in the stadium sector as well. Smithy is behind there, he is, and he's done 2 laps on the intermediate tires. He's found 2/10 a second then, and that if he can find another half a second there, he can get himself into the 28s as well. Let's see what Smithy D can do. He's out of the final turn in the Williams. I love the helmet there from Smithy D. He has found a couple of 10s there, but he's still 2/10 shy of the 28s at the moment there for the Williams driver, but that's a good fist so far there from Smithy D in 15th. We've got Ghost there, who's second at the moment, and he is just prepared. No, he's 8th position. He's just propelled himself from 12th to 8th position. Lovely stuff indeed. Then Curly is coming into the pits then, as so Curly there just coming into the pits, and I think that I wonder if he's going to change tyres there. He hasn't got a lot of time. Then Cart goes across the line. He's found a 10th for a second there, and it's 2,000 a second separates the top 2 at the moment. This is splendid stuff, isn't it? Energetics there is starting another lap then. Good stuff. I'm enjoying this. And Red Bull invalidated her time. She's going to have to go around again. What about Air Ayrton if I can catch him. Ayrton comes across the line. He's found a second. He's in the 27.5 set. We've got a camera racer starting his lap as well. There's an Alpha Tari in the background, and that is Sean Hammershead. Sean Hammershead has found a 10th for a second as well. Out of the final turn. Is he going to propel himself in front? He propels himself to 4th there. Good stuff indeed there. Gunnar coming into the pits well, but what about Velocity? Velocity comes across the line. He's starting us up there, and I'm not sure if he improved there, did he? So he's going to go have another bite to the cherry as well. Sloth also coming across the line as well. I think that we've got less than a minute to go in this session, and this is going to get very interesting indeed. And yellow flags is fluttering as Gunnar is out of qualifying, and that damage is terminal there for the racing point driver. What a shame for Gunnar. He is going to be a very unhappy man, is he, about that? Because I think he was looking very strong indeed. And Smith is going to the 28 there, and it's gone to 28. It's good stuff indeed there from Smithy. Brilliant stuff then. And we've got a Renault driver of Roscoe coming across the line. He's 8th fastest at the moment then. Lovely stuff there from the Renault driver then. What about the other half of Diashi? Diashi is 8 seconds slower, so Diashi's going to have another bite of cherry. Now Energetics there, who I think might be fairly happy with that performance there in qualifying. Done a really good job there. Rembo's a 10th for a second up in the second intermediate split time. That is enough to get in front of Sloth into the final turn as well then. I thought she was going into the barrier then, but nope, she's carrying on then out of the final turn. Rembo improves by 5700 of a second then. Very minute there. Ayrton is got up in the 12th position there, but he's not under the bar yet, is he? What about Camaro? He is 4 seconds down, and this is the last shot for Camaro. Can he do it then? We got Sean Hammers as well then, who is just improved by 10 seconds as well. The idea is to stay out and keep going round and round and round just until you feel safe as well. So Carr is also going to finish it's also finished off his up as well. Velocity is looks like he's 3 seconds down there, so he's going to have another go. One more chance. Well, same with Sloth as well. And there's going to be a lot of concerned faces then, where a lot of drivers out there at the moment heads into the pits, because Mikey's going to be one of the most concerned, and he is on the cusp there. He's in 10th position at the moment. The McLaren driver is there. We potentially could have no McLarens in the top 10 then. Roscoe is 2/10 second up. It's the back end is fine, and he's invalidated his time, and that is done and dusted, unfortunately. What about Diashi then? Diashi's also invalidated as well, and Diashi is out of qualifying, and that's a blow. That's unfortunate for Diashi. He is also spinning it as well. We've got Smithy, who is just behind Diashi, but Smithy there is also finished there because he's quite a couple of seconds down there. Energetics there coming through the stadium sector, accelerates out of 16 and 17 then, and here he comes then as well then. 24, 25, he's gone into the 25, my word there, and that is incredible. Rembo's gone quicker as well. She's in 6th fastest then, and that should be safe then. Ayrton is in the pits. He's abandoned his time then. Camera Racer is the only man then to really rain on the parade of Mike then. Can he do it then? Out of the final turn, and Camera Racer is aiming for 26. And he's done a 27.4 in the end then. So that is it then. And Mike there be breathing a huge sigh of relief, and he has got through into qualifying 3. Fantastic stuff indeed then. What an incredible top 3 that is as well. Brilliant stuff then. As coming down to turn 1 as well. Oh my goodness me. As absolutely fine stuff then. So then Smithy is out of qualifying, and he's in 15th position then. 14th position is Camera Racer. Ayrton is in 12th position. Diashi is in 11th position. Gunnar is in 13th position now. I think Gunnar would have got through into the top 10 if he didn't damage his nose cone on his second run then, but I think he might, but unfortunately that damage really curtailed his opportunity to get into qualifying 3, unfortunately for the Racing Point driver Gunnar, because he was quick, wasn't he, straight from the get-go on those intermediate tires. He was enjoying the weather, Gunnar was, and but he's going to be a bit disappointed that he's out then. Just watching Sim Racer, just saying Sim Racer saying Racer Sim Watch say, come on you Welsh, said serious question. Gunnar has a plan, not sure what it is though. Go say it's been forever to get into Q3 then. Bailey Smith, I'm scared. And so then into let's just take just reconfirm who's out of qualifying 2 then. Smithy DB 15th. On row 7 is Camera Racer and Gunnar. Row 6 is Ayrton and Diashi as well. Into the top 10 we have Energetics, Cart, Velocity, Hammers, Sloth, Rembo, Curly, Roscoe, Ghost and Mike have all made it through in the qualifying 3, as we are now coming down to the final session of qualifying. And of course, I wonder if we're going to have a sunny day like that picture is there for the race. I have no idea what the what the weather is for the race then, and to be honest, I quite like it when I don't know what the weather is, because it just it gets me even more intrigued as well. And that is very light rain now, isn't it? Goodness me then. And yeah, it's definitely intermediate, because look at how greasy the track surface is there. I don't think it is going to be dry by the end of this qualifying session, but I've been wrong so many times before, and I really should stop saying stuff like that, because it just makes me look like an absolute fool. Serious version saying a class out there from Cartboy, and GG from Ghost as well. Of course, say Ghost silver winner, wasn't he, back in the Dutch Grand Prix, the first ever runner of the Dutch Grand Prix in an ALR World Championship, for gold, silver and bronze this season. I think it's one of my favourite circuits on the calendar to watch cars go around the circuit. It's old school, isn't it? It's brilliant. And now then they come, but we're here in Mexico, and we got soft tyres going on one of the Mercedes of Ghost. He is not out of the picture just yet, and as I'm just watching I thought he was watching Velocity, but we was watching the Ferrari, wasn't we? So outlaps at the moment is on is for the Williams there. We've got a Renault in the background as well. I think that's Cartboy there. So Velocity is the first driver out on circuit as well. And you can see, look at that then, there's a much darker patch now on the circuit. That is where the driver, that's the race zone, that's where the driver's going to keep the cars in between then. It's very much now like on, it's going to be on railway tracks, isn't it, where you're going to keep it on those, on that, there's that Velocity locking up the inside front as well, because that is the driver part as well. You go get more traction, more purchase on those intermediate tires, of course. So it's going to be very much a lot of skill involved there. Just keep an eye then. Ghost is out on the soft tyre. It's on the soft tyres then as well. This is a major gamble then for Ghost, and I'm not sure if I think it's a bit too wet then, but Ghost is definitely trying to worth a gamble, isn't it? But I think it's still too wet there. He might abandon this up and come into the might abandon this tap now and come back in the pits. Great drifter there from Ghost though. Absolutely loving that. Brilliant stuff indeed then. And get a bit of a slow motion action shot there from Ghost. But I think it is too wet there, but I'm wondering now if Ghost might be onto something in the next couple of minutes or so. Then we've only got 10 minutes of qualifying to complete this session, of course. So where the rain is going to abate and be dry enough, then is anyone's guess at the moment. But I think that Ghost might have gone out slightly too early as well. Serious Rush has asked if the whole race is going to be wet too. I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know what the weather forecast is at the moment, so I'm going to be very interested in that then. Velocity coming down into turn number 1 as well. Velocity has had 3 pole positions this season, hasn't he? But it's been his consistency that is why he's on the verge of becoming the second ever bronze world champion. And of course, it was New Potato, who's the first world champion of bronze. He won it with of course a race to spare. Velocity could make history and become the first, the most earliest bronze world champion there, with winning it with 2 races to spare then as well, which would be absolutely fantastic. Of course, Emerson did exactly that there in gold on Sunday there. He is the earliest gold champion in ALR history. No one has ever won it as early as Emerson. Now it's always been 1 round or less, hasn't it? Grant, he won it in round 20 of 21 last season. Nigel ran it in round 17 of 18 in season 1, and of course it went down to the wire in season 2 then between Granty and Emerson as well. But yeah, Emerson was the most earliest earliest championship winner in gold on Sunday. So fantastic stuff indeed. Then Velocity could emulate that with the win tonight, and which will also propel him into the world. Will also propel him to the world championship for bronze as well. Then, so now Velocity coming out of the final turner, and let's see what he does. And he has thrown down the gauntlet of a 25.9. There, incredible stuff. And the only man that's gone quicker than that in this session so far has been Energetics. But I gotta say, Carr is very much on his tail, isn't he? Because he's 200 a second back at the moment. Goodness me, it's so tight out there. Oh, this is great stuff indeed. Then Curly Red has been in the conversation, hasn't he, for most of the session. He's third fastest at the moment. Now, what about Sean Evers? Sean Evers is down for the third position now. I missed him there slightly. But what about Mike then? Mike then is trying to. It was quite. I got to say, it was very lucky to be into qualifying 3 there. But now he's in it. Can he make the most of that opportunity as well? Remember that Mike was a whisker away from being out there, out of qualifying there. But that might have been a tactical gamble from Mike though. So I might be wrong on that one. But it just felt, but that might have been a risk too far perhaps. Rembo out of the Nigel Mansell turn as well. Whether she put her half set into 3rd position there. Rembo is loving this circuit, isn't she? Once again then, right up there as we're on board with Energetics as well then, as So just on board then with Energetics, and it looks like he is just preparing for a lap actually rather than on a lap then, so we'll keep an eye on that. Sloth is just started this up as well. Roscoe is on the second time run then, and look, I thought that was a track invalidation there, but nope, he is carried on then. Roscoe as he's a 4 in the second intermediate split time so far. Now coming into the stadium sector as well then. Look at how much steering input he's trying to put in that. Great 17 there from Roscoe into turn. And of course, it's gone fastest there. He's done a 25.5. Amazing stuff. Here comes Roscoe out of the final turn. Roscoe goes into 7th fastest at the moment then. Brilliant stuff indeed there. So, and here comes Curdy. That's an incredible time. He's 3rd fastest then. And a great 17. Sean Hammer's going for a second by the chariot. And he's into 3rd as well. 3rd position is a monopoly at the moment then. Mike has abandoned his time and come back into the pits then. So he's going to opt for a fresh set of intermediate tires there. And one more bite of the cherry as well then. And for the final turn then, Sloth goes into 3rd fastest. Incredible stuff indeed there from the Ferrari driver. Oh, amazing stuff indeed there. Rembo's invalidated her second time, which is unfortunate. She was a 10th of a second up in the second intermediate split time, but she's going for it again then with 6 minutes to go then. Edmond Carboy is of course the benchmark. Energetics is invalidated his time then, but he has filled his Alfa Romeo full of fuel then, and he's going to be, I wonder if he's doing the same tactic as he's been doing in qualifying 1 and 2. And I've got to say, the rain is very light now, isn't it? Very, very light indeed then, but I think the track needed to start to really dry up in this stage then of the qualifying format then. Energetics coming across the line as well then. He's done a 2:05 then, and of course that would have been a great time in Belgium 95 but not here tonight then, as Energetics is going to have another bite of the cherry as well. And we've got a Williams coming through the final turn then. Velocity then is now going for another bite of the cherry then. Carboy has also had a lap off, and he's going for it back again. And Ghost is now going for a proper run. Then he tried the slick tires. It was definitely worth a gamble. That gamble hasn't paid off then, but Mike is also trying the slick tires as well then, as the rain is abating there, isn't it? But I think it's abating too slowly for these drivers then. Sean Hammers has also abandoned and come to the pits. Well, what about Sloth there? And Sloth is taking a detour through the stadium sector as well. Rembo 8 second down then, so Rembo has had a mistake somewhere. Energetics is 23.9 seconds up in the first sector. That's an incredible first sector there from Energetics. He is in the S's as well. Look at the understeer on that Alfa Romeo there as well. I'm not sure if Energetics is pushing though. It doesn't look like he hasn't got the ERS also set to high either then, so Energetics might be abandoning this time and coming into the pits. I think that I do feel that Energetics does have a lot of fuel on board then, so I'm wondering if he's going to take some fuel out of that car with 5 minutes to go. Just on board then with Velocity then as well, as he's coming into, as the rain has abated then, it has stopped then. Is it going to be enough for the slick tyres then? This is going to be last one across the line then. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Oh my word then. No, I'm going to say I'm looking forward to this then. Is it going to be dry enough then? Mike is out on the slick tyres already then. He is throwing it. He's throwing a gamble then. And Velocity coming out of the final turn then. Velocity is improving by 0.2 a second. He is still behind Carboy at the moment. Carboy going for his first pole position of his bronze career as well. Ghost then put a time in. He is 7th fast at the moment then. Ghost is good stuff indeed. That Energetics is going around again then, so he's also building up then. So this is Energetics' 3rd by the cherry now in the on the intermediate tires then. I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think this track is going to dry out quickly enough, is it? But there's Sean Hammers also going on the soft tires as well. Mike is already out on the soft tires. We're seeing Ghost there also dip his tires onto the tarmac as well, but unfortunately it was too wet at that stage of proceedings then. 3.5 minutes ago then we might have the same to the European Grand Prix back in 1999. Remember, it's Heinz Harald Frentzen got pole position that day, was it? He was the last one across the line there, beat Hakkinen and Coulthard to that pole position there, didn't they? Brilliant some deep there. Energetics invalidated this time again now, hasn't he? So this is not looking good there for Energetics then, as I still feel he's got so much time now in that Alfa Romeo, hasn't he? Mike is now out on circuit, but look at how much spray is coming off those front tyres then. That is too much spray, I think, for the soft tyres. But the important part here then is you need to keep the slick tyres into a working sensible temperature window then. And this is the problem that now he's in a downward spiral, Mike is, because he's going too slow there. The slick tyres are cooling, isn't he, as he goes on to the wet line there. And Mike then, this is not helping at all, but he's 3 seconds down as well, and the intermediate tires are still the way to go with 2.5 minutes. So Mike there, unfortunately, then, that was a Ghost there, unfortunately, validated his time as well. I wonder, there's a soft tires, and I wonder, is Mike going to stay out here and just keep going until he gets a dry patch going in? Because the more you go around that, as Energetics is locking up, the more you go around the course, the more heat you're going to generate into those soft tires. But at the moment, then Mike is just on a slippery slope now, isn't he? With temperature just dropping in, he's just going to lose more and more grip, isn't he? Energetics currently in 10th position at the moment, and he's been very good, and he's got opening 2 qualifying sessions. This is the most important one there if you want to get on pole position, and this will be Energetics potentially 8th pole of the season, which is a record, isn't it, in bronze? Brilliant stuff indeed. That Energetics coming up to the second intermediate split time as well. He is 1.2 seconds up. They go into the stadium sector as well. Velocity is also thrown on the set of soft tires, and I think it's too wet though, guys. I think it's still too wet there. And then we've got Rempo, who's on the intermediate tires. Curly and Sean Hammers there. Sean Hammers was on the soft tires. He's gone back to the inters. We've also got Roscoe on the intermediate tires as well. Out of the final turn, and to a minute to go then, and Energetics is third fast at the moment then. He is 3/10 of a second away from Cart. Velocity is out on the soft tires, and he's rolling the dice, isn't he? Velocity has said. Cart is on the intermediate tires, and Mike has set a time then, but he's going around again. He's going around again then. The cardboard then is just coming out the SM. We've got a racing point just behind him. I think Renbo is on a quick lap at the moment. Indeed, she is. And Sean Hammers is on an out lap at the moment as well. We're on board with Renbo. 7 fast at the moment. Then a 26.4. The track is getting quicker and quicker, isn't it? Even though the slick tires, I don't think are the way to go. But we do have Mike and Velocity both on slick tires. They're both in the top 5 in the World Championship. They're both extremely talented drivers. Can they maneuver their way around this track in a quicker time than what they have done so far on those slick tires? And there's no grooves in those slick tires, which means the water cannot be dispersed, can it? Rembo, you can see them. We do have groove tires on these intermediates. They're shallow grooves, aren't they? And that's enough then to disperse then the spray then on the tarmac. Then Rembo goes in. She's slower on that final sector there, and that's a bit disappointing then for Rembo, isn't it? But she does have time. She has time. Sloth has does have enough time then? We got less than 10 seconds to go. Sloth then should be fine then. What about Energetics? He's done 5 laps on these intermediate tires there. Energetics is doing the old school way of doing a wet wear qualifying. I think it's working off perfectly. It is indeed. He's on pole position there. Fantastic time indeed then. Velocity has come into the pits then. What about Velocity? Didn't have enough time then. And look at how dry it's getting now. I wonder if Mike might be able to get those slick tires working. If he can, surely he has to be the favourite, but it's still very wet down the bottom end of the circuit, isn't it? Curly Red is in 6th position at the moment then, and he has got time for one more run as well then. And now then is Curly Red then coming into the stadium sector as well. What was Curly Red's time? 4/10 of a second up. Then nice enough to get to the 25 then. Velocity has finished this run. Energetic is on pole position. He's found 3/10 of a second. Energetic has run this qualifying as beautiful as you like there. Sweet as a nut there from Energetics there. He has been brilliant in this qualifying session, hasn't he? And a fantastic stuff for going for his 8th pole position of his season there. So as Curly goes into 4th fast at the moment. What about Sean Hammers out the final turn? Sean Hammers stays 6th fastest then. We've got Haas of Rembo. Rembo stays 7th as well. Cart is coming out of the final turn. He's a bit slower. Cart stays 2nd fastest. Oh, Rembo's in the wall. Rembo's in the wall. There's a big shunt there from the Haas driver. What about Sloth? He's less than a 10th up in the 2nd sector. Sloth goes into. Oh my word. Oh no. Sloth stays 5th fastest in the end as well. Well, I'm out of breath before qualifying's even finished. Good gosh, that is this is going to be a cracker, isn't it? I'm looking forward to this one. But Energetics, that's his 12th pole position of his career. He's absolutely magnificent in qualifying. He ran that qualifying session absolute to perfection, didn't he? And that is definitely a great session of how to run qualifying in the wet. Brilliant stuff indeed there from Energetics. Filled his car, fatter fuel, didn't he? And he just kept getting quicker and quicker. It's about confidence, isn't it? And Energetics was building up his confidence, and that is what got him pole position there by less than a 10th of a second from Cart in 2nd position. Velocity in 3rd, then of course still enough to clinch in the driver's championship. Curly in 4th position as well, with Sloth and Hammers 5th and 6th, Rempo and Ghost 7th and 8th, Mike and Roscoe 9th and 10th then for the Mexican Grand Prix. guys, Liam is saying there, rain in Mexico, simply lovely then. So, as Sirius must saying, if Mike pulls off, we'll be close. I think Mike was so close to pulling that off, to be honest, wasn't it? And it looks like the rain has gone now, so it's not very promising overhead, though, is it? Goodness me. And it says, I got to say, Gunnar's definitely brought the Irish word with him as well. Goodness gracious me, then. Looking very angry up in the sky, isn't it? Good gosh, that. But I think that if that qualifying session was probably a minute or two longer, I think that Mike would have been absolutely nailed that to perfection there with the dry track there, but not quite, was it? Energetic uses abundance of experience there, wasn't it? And he just really calmly went about his business there. I think that's textbook of how to run a qualifying session on the wets and intermediates there. Brilliant 17 there from Energetics. Do I say that's his best pole position of his career? I gotta say that is his best pole position in terms of how well he's executed the sessions, and I definitely would say that's his most impressive pole position. Brilliant stuff indeed then. But I probably would change my mind in the next race as well when Energetics pulls off an absolute stonker of a lap, maybe in Brazil or Abu Dhabi. Of course, you can't count out Energetics. He's so good in qualifying, and we've already heard that with 12 pole positions of his career as well, and 12 positions of his career as well. He's had 8 this season alone there. He's head and shoulders above anyone else, and he has got the golden wheel now only for pole position. That's a good stuff indeed there. Right then, because of that qualifying session, and we have now got a mixed range of tyre strategy as well, and I'm loving this. This is brilliant stuff indeed there. Right, let's go for the grid show from front to back then. 36 laps around Mexico. The final time we'll be driving around Mexico in ALR this week then. Of course, it's been a great 3 days, hasn't it? It's been a fiesta, hasn't it? And of course, then after this race, and there's only 6 more Grand Prix to go in ALR season 4 there. Of course, gold, then we have Brazil and Abu Dhabi, silver, Brazil, Abu Dhabi, bronze, Brazil and Abu Dhabi as well then. And we're now taking off the championships quite quickly, haven't we? Of course, Haas are now Constructors Champions of silver. Williams are Constructors Champions of gold. Gold have got their new Drivers Champion in the form of Emerson as well. Silver then is still open at the moment, and German has taken a mighty step forward then in terms of the Drivers Championship for silver. And bronze then, Velocity. Can he do the job tonight then? Pole position, Energetics. Kart Boys alongside him on row 1. 3rd position is Velocity. 4th is Curly. 5th is Sloth. 6th position is Sean Hammers there. Rentbo in 7th, and Ghost is 8th. Mike is in 9th position there with Roscoe in 10th. Diashi is in 11th position in the Haas. Ayrton is 12th in the Mercedes. Gunnar in 13th. Camaro is 14th. Smithy Almighty 15th. And Dan Murphy in 16th. Farf is in 17th position. His first race since the Canadian Grand Prix. Newman in 18th position. Cummings is in 19th position. The only man on the hard tyre. Medium tyres for Gunnar, for Diashi, for Hammers, Sloth, Curly, Velocity and Car. Everyone else is on the soft compound tyres then. And I'm glad that Cummings has dropped back slightly, because that was very close to me not going through the grid then, as he comes out of the Nigel Mansell turn as well then. Here we go then. This is the start then of the Mexican Grand Prix here in ALR Bronze as well. A 2-stop strategy. I've enjoyed this race. The last 2 races have been very much about strategy. It's been about strategical elements, hasn't it? And we've really enjoyed these races. These have been very different to a couple of the races that we have seen in ALR this season. And may it continue then. And we got 5 lights in Mexico, and we are go! And it's a good start there from Energetics. And look at Sean Hammers there pulling on it. Oh my goodness, there's already a squeeze there before he even got out of the grid slots there. And then as Curly Redis dropped down, he's dropping down the order. Curly Redis on the pole and start as Energetics has seen it someone quite comfortably. Velocity, and look at that, that's a Ferrari gone off of Mercedes. A Ghost there also has spun as well. And look at this, there's a bit of a messy start, and Sean Hammers has dropped right down to the back. He's on the grass there. Sean Hammers had some major issues then. He is just coming back onto the circuit as well. Yellow flag in sector 1 then. And oh dear, that's not good at all then. So let's look at this, Jocelyn for position there down into sector 2 as well. Farf has gone to 12th position already. Good stuff deep there for Farf. Murphy there, and who is that then? And look at this, that is Gunnar and Murphy there getting very interested in each other. And Murphy's up to 13th, Farf is up to 12th. Good stuff from both drivers as they have launched off so far. And there's Energetics, 1.4 seconds in front of Cartboy already in second position there. And third position is Velocity. Sloth over the fourth position. Curly was dropped down to 8th from 9th, but he's back up in the fifth position. Brilliant stuff indeed. What is going on here? We have Newman who's up to 8th. My word, that's amazing start there for Newman. He's at 10 positions there already. He wants that third position, does he, in the Drivers' Championship there. And Rempo is being squashed out there, I think. And now then we've got Camera up in the 9th position. Far is 10th. Rempo's dropped down to 11th. As well, we got Ghost there and into the pits. There comes Rempo. Rempo has had a difficult start along with Sean Hammers as well. Lap one completed then, and now Farfar's all over the back of Camera Racer as well, and he's underneath the rear wing. He's side by side then, and coming down into turn one as well. Pit stops for Sloth and Rempo. And oh, what's happening behind then? And look at this then, there's a Murphy, and then and who is that on the inside? That's what the Mercedes said. It is Ghost Recon then who's having a look then, but no dice at the moment. Diashi is not 6th position then. We're waiting for the we're waiting for it all to sort itself out there, as he's just on board Murphy as well, and goodness gracious me then, and as they come down then in to turn 4 as well then. So Murphy in 12th position, well then, great start from Murphy and far from brilliant 17th, then Gunnar down into 40th position. Sean Hammers has dropped down 10 positions. Cummings has gone up 2. Smithy is dropped down a position, and so has Red Bull as well. I'm sure that there was 2 people in the pits then. I thought Sloth was in the, he is in the pits there, but he's currently leading the race at the moment then. So now we got Energetic said, who is at the moment now, he's looking very strong indeed. Then Ghost has got a 3-second penalty, but then Cart and Velocity are in very close company as well. Mike is in at 5th position right now. 6th position is there's a Roscoe. Good stuff indeed there. Newman up 11th position there. He's had a fantastic start, Newman. He's on the soft tires, and he's made it work to absolute perfection as well. And look at that, there's Ghost there. Oh goodness me, he appeared out of nowhere, and Cameron had to take a base of X. He's also in the pits there. He's got a 3-second penalty, and Farf is also in the pits as well. As oh goodness me then, so 1 and 3 had a bit of fisticuffs there, and unfortunately for both those drivers. Right, we've had a lot of pit action. Remember last night it was very much clean as a whistle, wasn't it? But unfortunately that's not the case, as the Camero's out of the race then, as I think I'm worried about his technical issues. Is he just going to be furious with I wonder if he is furious with what has occurred in this race so far. That Newman, look at that then, you can see McLaren. There he is in the background. Now we're watching his teammate Mike, who's up 4th position. McLaren have had a golden start here tonight, haven't they? They've been really good there. Energetics now 3.3 seconds in front of the moment. Diashi's got a penalty as well. Keeping on the penalties, remember that is going to be quite important. That's going to be an important factor there in the later stages of the race. So we're on board Diashi then, who is now on the back of Gunnar. Gunnar is now up into 11th position, just outside the points at the moment then. Soft has dropped down to 13 positions there, unfortunately then. But everyone else there is Ayrton has dropped, dropped past Murphy at the moment, but now Ghost is also all on his is up, all in his grill as well at the moment. As Ayrton now is had a good start in the Mercedes, and he's up into 9th position so far. Good stuff indeed then. And as we're just flying around the final turn as well. And who's that? That's Newman in the pits, and he's in the pits only after 4 laps. Is there damage on the McLaren then? And Newman's incredible start there. He hasn't damaged the car. This is rolling the dice off. Oh, he has damaged the car then. These wings are so just so incredibly detailed these days. A minute bit of damage there really causes major issues there with the tires and also with the understeer. He is coming out of the pits now then, Newman is, but he's on the hard tires. Similar to Slothfed. Cummings is still in 13th position as well then. I thought he was no man's land there coming to us, as the Gunnar is now for the 10th position as well. Newman, what a great start. Now unfortunately that's all come to nothing at this stage, but it might swing back in its way in just a few moments time as well then. Absolutely incredible stuff. The Diash is currently all over the gearbox of Gunnar at the moment, isn't he? Goodness gracious me then. And Gunnar then is currently holding that final top 10 spot at the moment as well. Good stuff. I wonder if the Mercedes drivers, yes, Ghost is not a full-time Mercedes driver, but of course for the constructors' point of view it is very important. I'm sure that all these drivers are thinking about the constructors. We'll talk about that in a minute, because we got to Curly Red, and we've also got the Renault driver of Roscoe. Renault looking very strong at this stage. This is going to be a huge amount of points there for the Renault team. Remember, Renault at the beginning of the season there were looking very strong for the constructors standings, weren't they? They have gone up and down, haven't they, over the past over the past few races, aren't they? So now then we're just coming down the hill into turn 2 as well then, and look at this, that is Curdy going on, look then, not quite then, is the door was ajar, but that was about it, wasn't it? And but everything has not yielded, has he, so far then? So Ghost has not been let through, has he? So of course, oh my word then, and who is that then? That's Sean Hammers there. Sean Hammers there is also trying to come back through as well. Hammers had an appalling start, but never take that then, is that is going to be his race then. Sean Hammers is such a great, fine racing driver as well. Ayrton has dropped, but it's got lost out then to a Ghost as well then. Sean Hammers is up into 11th position as well, getting past Gunnar. Moving up into 11th position. He's just outside the points as well. Diashi currently holds the final point scoring position of the Mexican Grand Prix so far then. On board then once again with Roscoe at the moment then. And oh gosh then, I am absolutely perspirating at the moment, oh my word. So Energize is leading now by 4.6 seconds, but looking very strong at the moment, isn't he, in the Alfa Romeo. Second position is Cart Boy, and once again the Cart Boy, who is a new one of the newer additions to ALR, and I gotta say he is doing a great job, isn't he? He's fitting very nicely indeed then, and surely a man for stardom, isn't he, in the not too distant future, looking very good indeed then, isn't he? As DRSN on Roscoe's car, can it get past? As we've also got Velocity getting past it up into second position, and he has over the second position. Roscoe getting past Curly Red as well. Roscoe's on soft tires, isn't he? So now then he needs to make hay whilst the sun is shining. Whilst he's got those soft tires on, the sun is not really shining today here in Mexico, is it? We have had appalling weather conditions here in Bronzetown, haven't we? We've up until Sunday and Monday, it was absolutely beautiful weather conditions, wasn't it? But here today it's been a bit dull, and we've also had a lot of the wet stuff falling from the sky as well. So Cart at the moment has dropped down into third position. But Velocity, we know he's a good racing driver, isn't he? And Velocity then at this moment in time is the bronze world champion then as well. So that'll be both the bronze. And so just on board then with Newman. He's dropped back then from Farf, and it looks like Newman's lost out to both Rempo and Farf in that stage of the race so far. Yeah, so of course if Velocity wins here tonight, then that'll be Williams then doing the double, and that'll be the drivers and the constructors sort out there. There's still a long way to go. We've still got 30 laps to go, but Velocity is on course, isn't he, to become Bronze's second world champion as well. And Velocity has done something similar to Granty, didn't he, back in season 2. Granty has got the most podiums in ALR history in one season there with 17 there. Oh goodness me, just as I start to compliment Velocity, he drops behind, doesn't he? Card Boy is now up in 2 second position there. Velocity down the front there. Diashi is battling away then with Sean Hammers there as well. Look at this, Sean Hammers there is still trying to fight. Diashi's got a very slippery car, hasn't he? Now Hammers is through. He is up into 10th position as well, gets past Diashi, who is down in 11th. And I got to say, Diashi's got I think that's his second penalty so far. The penalties are looking very good actually. There is about 5 drivers that ask for penalties, but well 6 now, as Roscoe decided to prove me wrong, but yeah, we've had 6 drivers with penalties at the moment, but I think that's a lot less than what we had in gold and silver then, but I will probably be standard to be corrected. Oh my word there, as Farfare's got past Rempo, moved up into 15th. Both these drivers on the back foot then after some shenanigans at the start of this race. Well, Gunnar now is starting to pull in on Diashi, and Diashi is really strong on this circuit. This is definitely a circuit of unique taste, isn't it? You either go well around it or you don't you? And I think the Diashi's look at that, I think got a bit of sun bursting through the clouds as well, and that's the first time we've seen the sun here tonight in Mexico. Lovely stuff indeed then, as I'm like to have to go outside and take me old joggers off and really get me legs tan there. So I think I might have to get factor 50 on, even if the sun is only just bursting through the clouds there. We've got Dan Murphy then, who's all over the back of Curly, and Dan there who's looking at strong again, and I think he's enjoyed himself, isn't he, the ALR this moment of his career, isn't he? He's become a full-time driver once again in that silver then, but I think it's a bit too little too late to become the champion, albeit he's still in striking distance of Gunnar at the moment. Gurnman at the moment, but Cummings has got past, and Cummings is up into 12th position. Good start from Cummings there. He's just picking them off one by one, isn't he? Good job indeed there. Cummings has not got no points to his career so far, and that's an absolute travesty, isn't it? Because he is such a fine racing driver. And can he, very similar to George Russell at the moment, and can he now put that to bed there and get some points on the board in his career? And going back to Murphy then, I think he's enjoying himself in his ALR career so far, isn't he? In this stage of his career, I should say. Then, of course, he's back in silver as a permanent driver for Red Bull, but I think it's too little, too late then to become the world champion for the silver anyway. But he's also been enjoying driving in gold and bronze as well over this week as well. Same with Cartboy as well, and Ghost Recon. It's been great to see some of those regular names there who's been on the reserve list, just coming in and doing a good job as well. And so hats off to the reserves. Really good stuff indeed then. And of course there's I don't really say very kind things to Murphy there, but that's the kindness I'm going to be tonight, I think. Murphy there's a lovely shot here from the nose cone then, as Curly is just in front of us at the moment. Dan is on the soft tires at the moment, and so is Roscoe as well. I wonder if the medium tires now switching and becoming the predominant race tire, isn't it? As the soft tires might be going off slightly at this stage of proceedings then, and as I think that might be the case then, as Curly is dropping back slightly, but I'm sorry, not Curly. Roscoe is dropping back slightly. He's really struggling at this stage of proceedings then. Having said that, Cartboy is still 5.2 seconds back at the moment. Energetics actually took off, and really good stuff from Energetics. And I think that Energetics in USA really enjoyed the performance there. I think that was the Energetics vote, really, because he was in the world there, so wasn't he, in the last 3 races until the United States Grand Prix. And it was good to see him back in the sharp end of the field as well. And I do love seeing Energetics and Velocity. Oh my word, that's a lunges there from Curly there, as banging wheels are going into the stadium sector, but Roscoe there is not yielding, is he? He's one of the most difficult men to pass on the ALR track, isn't he? He is a very robust driver, and we love it, don't we? Of course, there as he comes out of the final turn, and Roscoe is going to have to make that Renault as wide as possible, because Curly is coming. There he is, and he has got a DRS, and Roscoe is going to be looking on his wing mirror head as Ayrton is back up into 8th finish there, and look at this, oh, where's he going to go? Roscoe goes for the inside, so Curly's on the outside. Look at this, wheel to wheel, and Roscoe then is staying on the outside as well. And this is going to get very, very hair and scare. And Curly red, that's a great manoeuvre there as well. And look at this, he's got DRS as well, and Roscoe hasn't got DRS, and now Murphy is also getting through as well. Roscoe's dropped down competitions, and Murphy, my goodness me then, very close there as well. And now look at this, and Murphy's on the inside, he's going to do a double. He has done a double. He is up into 5th finish as well. Yes, great stuff indeed there for Murphy, amazing stuff. But now can Curly Red, he is now struggling for traction then, but Roscoe is not there to strike either then. So at the moment then it's as we got a warning flag there for Velocity, as he's got a 3-second penalty as well. My headset fall off again then. So Murphy up into 5th position there. Now what can Curly Red could do there? I was surmising that the medium tires were a better stage then, but I think that Roscoe's tires might just not be at the peak performance now. I wonder if he's just overdriven the tires, so to speak there. So Murphy is now the lead car then, but can Curly Red keep in DRS then? As though this, and once again then, as we're going to have another drag race down the back straight as well. Velocity has got past car again, and I'm loving this battle there. I really wish I could see more of it as well, but there's a lot of action behind them at the moment. Sean Hammers has got past Ayrton there. Ayrton is in the pits then, and he is now onto the medium tires, and both Mercedes are following each other in terms of strategy then. Interesting stuff then from car 12 then. And of course we've already mentioned Ayrton's beautiful helmet, and of course that's fantastic helmet, isn't it? One of my favourite of all time actually there. I think that's going to be definitely my top 5 of helmets. And what was going on there, I just seen a glimpse there as Ayrton now just coming out of the pits as well, and there's Redbow and Ghost there. And look at this as well. I love these drafts and go down to turn 1. Goodness me, now Ghost is right underneath the rear wing of Redbow, and now he's going to go on the outside. See, Redbow is not going to yield though, is she? And goodness me, now but Ghost there swooping on the outside. He loves that, doesn't he? The Mercedes is now up into 14th finish now. Redbow dropping down into 15th as well then. And Diash has actually moved himself into 9th finish as well. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Absolutely good stuff then, as they're just on board with Diash as well. We're on lap 12 out of 36, and of course this is the final race then for Mexico in our 3-day extravaganza. It's like a festival, isn't it, really? Just less music and unfortunately more of a forester who doesn't really know how to speak a lot of English. But into the pits there comes Murphy and Mike then. So Mike coming down into pits, and he's in the McLaren now. He is thrown on a set of hard tires, and Mike is the same strategy he had last night then. Interesting stuff. Murphy is onto the medium tire then. And look at this, that is, oh goodness me, that's not Murphy. We're just watching Gunnar there fly underneath me as well. Mike coming out of the pit side. Murphy is very close, and look at Roscoe. Roscoe and Red have done a great job in the pit lane, and look at this, is he going to be able to get Murphy there as they come out of the pits? And look at the background, there's far from the back foot slightly, as now coming down to turn 1 as well. Is just now on board with Roscoe, and he's currently outside the points zone. And can Roscoe get some points as well? Oh, and Smithy has got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as well. It's it doesn't look like a difficult pitting, is it? But it catches out the unwary, doesn't it? Goodness me, the amount of times I've been caught out speeding in the pit lane. That's the fastest I ever go around an F1 track is through the pit lane, which is unfortunate for me, isn't it? Really. So there you go. But I think that speeding in the pit lane is around this track is very difficult indeed then, because the speed line now does come up at you quite quickly, doesn't it? Especially when it's a very fast pit in as well. Into the pits there comes Energetics. He's onto the medium tire now as well. It looks like a 2-stopper there, right on cue as well there for the race leader, and the man who's second in the World Championship, the man who has the most pole positions this season, and he comes out of the pits now and accelerates it away. Sean Hammers is slightly too far back, but Hammers has got Diashi for coming at the moment, and Diashi's now all of a sudden just come into this has now just come into this race in the last couple of laps, so hasn't he? Really, I think that Diashi might have been just sitting back slightly there and doing the more sensible option there as well. Now that's why I didn't see it, because it's the sensible option as well. I don't ever see the sensible option. Murphy having a look then, but not quite then. Roscoe's got to go on the outside then. Murphy's going to have to be concerned. Oh my word there. Oh gosh there. As of course Roscoe and Murphy then. Now Roscoe there accelerating out then. Murphy there's going to be on the back foot there, because Roscoe on those soft tires, and he's gone for an aggressive strategy. Murphy though is gone for the more traditional strategy around Mexico, and Mike has gone for the long game then. I'm loving this. There's 3 separate strategies with 3 different cars in 9th, 10th and 11th then. And now then Murphy has dropped down into 11th position, but then to Roscoe then. He needs to make quick work of Mike, doesn't he? Of course, there's into the pit seconds Velocity said. He's also on medium tires. Interesting stuff to see what Velocity does then. Mike needs to make quick work of Roscoe needs to make quick work of Mike there, because if he wants to make those soft tires work to his advantage, then Soft has got a 3-second penalty there, and Velocity soft tires, and a very attacking second stint here from Velocity. Good stuff indeed. Energetics is just past now. Energetics, I got to say, is in firm control at the moment, isn't he? Really good stuff indeed then. As now then Mike is going to be seeing a yellow rocket behind him. Here he is. It's Roscoe out of the final turn then, and coming down the back. I love this shot, by the way. Look at this. They fly underneath me now. Wow, look at that then. Absolutely brilliant. And Diashi's got past the short hammers there. Goodness me, but I need to keep it on this one for a second, because Roscoe is at the inside, is he? He is indeed there. That's brilliant. But look, Mike is not giving up though, is he? This is for track position. This is Mike there is a fighter. He's not going to let anyone go through that. But he didn't have the tools at that stage, though, did he? He was on the hard tire. He did not make it easy for Roscoe. But of course, he also knew that this is going to be a long stint. Then Carboy has got a penalty there, and so the only man I haven't got penalty in the top 3 at the moment is Energetics as well. Energetics is now being held up slightly behind Kurt Redmond. And this is an opportunity. We're on lap 14 then, which are almost we're over halfway through the broadcast, and I need to really mention DRS, don't I? Really, there's 3 DRS zones around this circuit. Of course, my excuse is Kurt Red's got a penalty there in the same sector. Of course, my excuse is there is raining in the qualifying session, so the DRS there wasn't used. But yeah, we do have 3 DRS zones around this Mexican Grand Prix circuit on the start-finish straight, on the back straight, and also on the mini straight there, out of the SSR, and going into the stadium sector as well. As into the pits comes Sean Hammers and Diashi there. Diashi, I gotta say, I think I undersold Diashi there, so I apologise to Diashi. He's been, I think he's doing a great race so far. He didn't look like he was on the back foot in the opening part of that stint there, but as the race gone on there, he's really kept up the pace quite nicely with Sean Hammers, and Sean Hammers is no slouch in a Formula 1 car whatsoever there. He's really turned He's really turned bronze on his head, hasn't he? And potentially in with a shot of that 3rd promotion spot as well. At the moment, no, Mike out of the top 3. It's only Mike getting points at the moment, but Mike is on the hard strategy, isn't he? As we just seen Murphy there go past as well. Energetics then is now 12 seconds behind Cartboy. Cartboy is going against the run on the grain at the moment, isn't he? So he is So we're just on board. Sean Hammers got Newman in front of us. Well, Newman's had 10 laps on those hard tires. Sean Hammers up the inside of Diashi. Diashi is going no dice. This is a battlefield position, isn't it? These two are in a direct fight with each other, isn't it? So, of course, this is a very much pivotal in both these driver stands as well. Murphy's got a 3-second penalty in the Alpha Tauri. Look at this, that is Newman now. That's 10 laps on those hard tires as well. Velocity is just at the fast of the race set. He's only 4.1 seconds back now. But of course he is on the soft tires, isn't he? So I think he's gone for a really aggressive strategy, isn't it? It's great to see from Velocity, isn't it? He's got such a oh my goodness me, I gotta say, I'm so amazed with these guys braking, isn't it? It's absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? The way they stop the car inches away from the car behind. It's absolutely magnificent, isn't it? It's inch perfect every time, almost every time. It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? These guys are really superhuman. These guys and girls are definitely superhuman, I should say. Then as Diassi now coming down the back straight, he has got past Newman now. Newman now is going to have Sean Hammers for a company. Lovely shot from the nose cone. Sean Hammers has touched the inside of Newman. He is onto the grass there. Velocity's got a 3-second penalty as well. And oh dear, then that's not good at all. And Sean Hammers there has dropped down the order as well. Mike has just dropped behind Curly, but Mike is on the hard tire stint, isn't he? At this stage, I wonder if Mike there, because he did try this last night. And I'm wondering if he is going to now try and go an extra further on this stint and maybe go for one stopper, because he went on soft tires quite late on last night as well. But we'll find out. So I'm just saying, I think I've just seen Sam saying that Roscoe's on fire tonight as well. I've kind of ignored you guys in the comments. I absolutely apologise. That's very rude of me, isn't it? I'll read your comments in just a jiffy as well. I'll try and read them all as much as possible, but you guys are a very chatty bunch, aren't you? Cummings there is on the hard tire as well, and he's been on the hard tire since the get-go in this race. He is in fourth position, Roscoe in fifth position as well, and it's Sam saying that Roscoe's on fire. That's why I kept an eye on Roscoe, and here he is now, and he is alongside Cummings. He passes Cummings, he moves up into fourth position now, and definitely I agree with Sam there. He is very much he's doing a great job, isn't he? Rembo is battling with her teammate, and Rembo is on the medium tires there. Diashi is now on the soft tires. Diashi's next target is Ayrton, who is just slightly further down the line as well. Then Gunner's got past Newman now. Newman is dropping backside, but Newman's not giving up. There's a rub wheels out, and now it's going to be Sean Hammers and Newman round two. Of course, this is going to be Alpin Nunda. Nunda's not here tonight, is he? But goodness me, it's free of breast. Goodness me, free of a kite. And now Sean Hammers is up in 240 footage there. And Gunnar also going into the back as well. Sean Hammers is through then. Newman down in the 50th position. Gunnar is down into 16th as well. There's so much action going on, I can't keep up. And that's Murphy there, just swooped on the outside of Cummings there. And look at this, there's Cummings there. And that nose comes, those going to get chopped off as well. Curly Red there, of course, there. He's just come out onto the soft tires, isn't he? He needs to a very similar strategy to Roscoe at this stage of proceedings. So he needs to make sure he does not get held up too much behind the hard runners there. And Cummings is one of the hard compound runners there. Carr is also gone to the hard tires as well. Apologies, you guys are probably screaming at me there as I completely missed that. But Carter is now on the hard tires. Let's see what he does. Well, similar strategy to Mike. Oh my goodness me, they're getting very close for comfort there. Curly and Cummings is there. Oh my goodness me, Rember's got a 5-second penalty there for speed in the pit lane, and well, goodness me, the nuts is getting very gosh, there's now like going this way and that way, but Curly is now up in the 6th position. Then his next target is Murphy. We got Ghost then, who Mike is, I'm not sure if Ghost is overtaken Mike. I think Mike's just dropped down to 95. We also got Farf in the background as well then. So Mike is on the hard tires and he is going for a very long stint as in the McLaren at the moment. Velocity is right underneath the rear wing now of this, and this is going to be round number 3 or 4, is it? Singaporeans robbed, wasn't we had a great fight then, or a preview of a fight then, in the United States Grand Prix, and now then this is about halfway through the Mexican Grand Prix. It's energetic, it's Velocity, and this is for the battle for the lead then, and Velocity is on the soft tires, and energetic has gone for the, oh my goodness me, and Velocity locking up the inside front, but he's got up the inside for turn 3. He takes the lead in the Mexican Grand Prix. What is energetic going to do? Oh my word, then look at how close they are. It's wheel to wheel. Look at this, and this is amazing then. Velocity's on the outside, energetic's on the inside. He looks up then, and how do they not go into the side of each other? It's amazing, and energetic is going on the outside. This is amazing. Jason, and Energetics is through, and I'm wondering if Velocity had just backed out of that slightly there, and oh goodness, I was loving that then. Brilliant stuff indeed, absolutely enjoying that, great stuff then. And Energetics is back into the lead at the moment as well. And here they are then, as Velocity then, he needs to get past from a strategical point of view. Then Velocity needs to get past as quickly as possible. Cart, I think that's another 3-second penalty for Cart then, so that's 2 in the matter of the last umpteen laps or so then, which is very scientific of me. But he's had 2 penalties there in the last few laps. So Cart, and you've seen a flash of yellow. That's him in the Renault. Renault are 3rd and 4th, and on that absolutely stellar race out there as well. Now Velocity is on a great launch of the Nigel Mansell turn, and he is through and up into for the lead of the Grand Prix as well. But look at Energetics, goodness me, he has got some energy. He's going to go for it. He's going for a run board of it going into turn 1. Then they both lock up. They both lock up. Oh, great stuff indeed there. And strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a fine race, isn't it, to the end of the Mexican Grand Prix? Oh, I absolutely love it as well. And of course, the championship is not officially done and dusted yet then, but of course there it's almost done and dusted, isn't it? And the beauty about that is, apart from the fact we haven't got a tense final season showdown, is that the gloves are off now, isn't it? Who is going to be the better racing driver then? Well, it's been Velocity over the course of the season, and he will be the best racing driver when it comes to the points then. But Energetics surely will have something to say about that in these couple of races or so, won't he? Now then, Velocity is on the soft tire then, so he needs to spread his tires and go for it if he wants to make this strategy work then. So he's going to be putting in a lot of qualifying laps now. Just as well. Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was fantastic, wasn't it? No, Serious Rush is saying, Troy is saying the Cart is trying a one-stop strategy. Top 3 is on different strategies. Absolutely beautiful stuff indeed. And Serious Rush is saying if he pulls off, it'll be an epic strategy as well. Then Gurman saying not Sean Hammer's day, is it? Serious Rush is saying no, but it was a good save. It really was a good save, wasn't it? When Sean Hammer's came in a bit of contact there. Was it with the one of the McLarens there? It was Newman, wasn't it? A couple of laps ago as well. We've also got Sam in the comments as well. Hello Sam, of course I think he joined slightly late as well. He can't remember what strategy, what's the strategy around here. Into the pits comes Ghosted, as also in the pits there comes Roscoe as well. To be honest, I never know what strategy to go on really. It's really cost me over the course of my career. And as we've got Renbo is out of the race then, and Renbo has gone off in a big way. It's a safety car around here. Oh goodness me, it's Renbo is really throwing the cat amongst the pigeons there. And Renbo, who that's such a good qualifying, but in the race as well, it doesn't seem to all come together, does it? So very similar to Cummington, also in silver. Oh my word, there she's off in quite a big way, and into that very fast kink before the third DRS as well. Is anyone going to come into the pits? And we already have a Ferrari in the pits. That's Sloth, and this might be a good opportunity then for Sloth. So what is Velocity going to do then? I'm wondering then, has this gone into, I think that this is really playing into the hands of Velocity, hasn't it? I think it has. He is going to come in the pits then. I think Energetics needs to come into the pits as well. So I think Velocity, look at that then, he is something right down. Yes, it has then. So Energetics then, going for the traditional strategy. Velocity rolled the dice then, and it's really paid off here, hasn't it? And there's the Alfa Romeo mechanics. There are the Williams mechanics then, getting ready. Also in the pits then, and it's Carpo as well. I'm a bit disappointed about the safety car, because that's really might have ruined a very good strategical race as Total P's Holler and now as Serious Russian was as disappointing, and as Rentabo is out of the race. That's the second retiree, and Jack's out of the pits as well. Car has gone on to medium tires then. We got Curly in the pits well, Murphy also in the pits, and Cummings is coming in the pits well. I think Cummings is going to be the big winner in this one, isn't he? Because look at this, he's done 21 laps on the medium tires. It's a great stint there from the Red Bull driver. He is on the cusp and getting some major points. And McLaren of Mike's also in the pits well. Mike will be eating into Nunda's advantage in that battle for the top 7 position there. Roscoe is just coming in the pits then. He is he's dropped down a few positions, hasn't he, Roscoe? As he's still in 6th position now. Mike is just coming out of the pits well. Ghost there also just coming in the pits earlier on as well. Ayrton out of the pits on those soft tires. Diashi, Sean Armstrong. Ayrton's a big winner in this one. Newman in 14th. Farf also in the pits as well then in the Alfa Romeo. He is going on to the soft tires. Also in the pits as well. We're just on board the Williams driver now of Smithy, who is I think he's been lapped then at the moment then, so I'm wondering if Smithy might just throw caution to the wind and unlap himself. Davis happy with that then. He's just gone perfect. That was beautiful stuff indeed then. Serious Rush, he's got to pin his hopes on Gooner as well. He's currently in 13th position at the moment. So that has really reset the race then. Only a couple of drivers gone to soft tires. Those soft runners are Velocity, Energetics, Ayrton and Farf. Everyone else is on the medium tires then as well then. So this is going to get very interesting indeed then. I've got to say, I'm not sure who's right and who's wrong here. It's going to get very, very I think that it's going to be a long way to go on the soft tires, isn't it? But I think that Energetics and Velocity have been so good this season, haven't they? They've really, and it's shown in the Drivers' Championship as well. They have been absolutely mega stuff indeed there. I think that Newman has also been really good as well over the course of the season as well. Maybe if he had a couple more races, he would also be up there as well in the McLaren. But still, I think that Energetics, Velocity has been amazing as he is. Consistency has been absolutely fantastic. But Energetics in qualifying, he's already shown how good he is in qualifying this season. Bert Mylander leads us then around the Mexican circuit at the moment. So let's take stock, shall we? So no penalties for Energetics at the moment. So he has got the high ground, hasn't he? And just like it was in the United States Grand Prix just over weeks ago, Energetics has kept it clean. Velocity has got a penalty, hasn't he? So then that it could be quite crucial in this race then. Mike hasn't got any penalties, nor has Ayrton and Sean Hammers either. I tip my hat off to you guys. Brilliant stuff indeed then. We have so then we've got Velocity leading this race then. Second is Energetics. Third position is Cartboy. Curly Red in fourth position. Murphy in fifth. Roscoe is sixth. Cummings is seventh. Eighth position is Mike. Ghost is ninth. Ayrton in 10th position. D. Ashley just outside the points in 11th position there. Sean Hammers in 12th. Gooner 13th. Newman is in 14th. 15th is Farf. 16th is Sloth. And 17th is Smithy, who is currently a lapped car then. 17 cars remain then. Rempo out of the race then. She retired just before I think turn 11 and 12 there, unfortunately for Rempo. Camera race they retired quite early on in the race as well then. That's a good. Oh, what's happened to Ghost? And he has got off there out the chicane, the help, and he's also got a 3-second penalty. Just to add insult to injury there. What happened to Ghost then? He was in, I think he was in 9th position or 10th, wasn't he? But he's dropped right down then. And, oh dear then, did he light up the rear tyres then or what? But, safety cars in the other side. We're on board Ghost then. Is he allowed to go back through is the question. I don't think he is, because when you go off from the safety car, it's your own fault, isn't it? But I'm not sure if that was Ghost's fault or not, but we'll have to find out as evaluation time after the race then. Right, lap 23, then we've got 13 laps to go now. No soft tires that are going to be put to the edge of their use and beyond it. This race, haven't they? Good stuff indeed there. Go saying, well, perfect time, perfect timing, the perfect timing then for Ghost. Well, 5-second power, 5-second penalty for Energetics. Oh no! And Energetics, who had a clean race, and all of a sudden that's not the case. So out of the far turn, and look at this, another wheel to wheel coming down the back straight. And we've also got a Williams there, Smith in the background. He's a lap down, unfortunately. And look at this. Energetics takes the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix, or does he? Look at this, it's wheel to wheel going down into turn one. Oh my word, the Velocity has kept the lead, and that is incredible stuff indeed. He's going to have the inside, he is going to have the inside. The two leaders are coming to side by side. Energetics takes the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix, and Carter also was being involved in the top three on an amazing race, and Velocity's going up the inside there into turn 4. Energetics has the high ground, so Murphy is over the 4th position there, or is he? No, he isn't, because Curly is back through and in 4th position as well, and these are the medium runners as well then, and Ghost there is on a good old scrap, isn't he? Oh my goodness, we have Velocity's on the outside of Energetics. Oh, they're going to come to blows. They have come to blows, and how don't they come together? It's absolutely unreal, isn't it? These guys have been raced together so close in these seasons, and how they don't crash is unbelievable. Well, Ghost is off, and Energetics is on the outside. Energetics is on the outside. The gloves are off, and Energetics is in the lead. They're going into the stadium sector. Velocity is on the outside. He's going to stick on the inside. This is amazing. And this is fantastic. This is absolutely sensational. We've got car 2 is now also all on the back as well, coming through turn 17, and we're on lap 25, but no DRS just yet. He is underneath the rear wing once again. This is about of course this is about the Grand Prix win, isn't it? The championship might be done and dusted then, but Velocity and Energetics, it's about pride. Cart is also in there as well, and then Velocity is taking the lead down and lock up again. Energetics is on the he's out to steer out then, and now we got Cart is on the outside as well. Oh, great stuff indeed then. A 3-second penalty then from Farfen as well. Now Velocity then has got the high ground, hasn't he? Because of course Energetics got that 5-second penalty, which of course he can appeal at the end of this race, doesn't he? But wow, oh goodness me. Oh, absolutely sensational stuff indeed then, and I am absolutely, I think I've been on a marathon, goodness me, I might take a selfie after this. It actually looks like that I've had some epic gym work then. I really haven't. I've just been watching cars go around in the circuit then. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Lap 25 out of 36 here. We have still got 11-12 laps to go in this Grand Prix, this epic Grand Prix as well. Curly is still keeping Dan at bay. Brilliant stuff there from Curly then, and Dan Murphy in the 5th position at the moment then. He is just trying to get past that. Ghost in Slotfed just battling in the back of the money. It's getting very free between those two, but it looks like there's a 10 for a second, and then Slotfed very close then to the back as well as they come down the hill as well. And now then they fly underneath it. Where are they? Here's Velocity, and here's Energetic as well. DRS has been enabled then. Oh, brilliant stuff indeed that. So the one in 7/10 of a second, and between the top two, and Cummings there is now on the outside of Roscoe. I think the safety car is now Roscoe. So Energetics got a 3-second penalty. I think Energetics might be driving a bit angry at the moment then, as that 5-second penalty there is he's going to be absolutely devastated. I think is the Energetics, because he's had the perfect race, hasn't he? The safety car has really played into Velocity's hands, hasn't it? Really tonight, but still, I've really enjoyed this again. But yeah, the safety car has played into Velocity's hands, no doubt about that. But he started to be in it to win it, didn't he? He rolled the dice there on those soft tires, had a great middle stint there, hunted down Energetics, got past Energetics, the safety car came out, and now then it's Energetics and Velocity battling away till the very end of the Grand Prix, and this is absolutely brilliant stuff indeed then. And as now they're coming into the stadium sector as well, Troy is saying, and of course the two drivers that who are part of a different league as well then are fighting wheel to wheel, similar to Hamilton and Rosberg, isn't it, in a way? Oh goodness me then, and I think that it's really starting to be. I think that there's a lot of history between these two, isn't it? I'm enjoying it. I'm actually then Energetics has got DRS then again then, and look at that, it's coming down to 2 tenths a second, 1 tenth of a second, and it's less than 10 of a second then. Velocity is going on the inside. So Energetics just going to go on the outside. He's on the racing line. He takes the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix, but he's now got to pull away then. Murphy has got past, or has he then? Curly Red then he's got the inside to turn 3 and 4. Curly is still there, isn't he? Murphy is going to be forced off the circuit, but he's still got a nose whiff beside him as well. Mike has got in front of Roscoe, I think, in the background. So Murphy is up in the 4th position. He is up in the 4th position. Brilliant stuff indeed there. Farf is up into 12th position and in the Alfa Romeo. Oh my word, that Cummings is now in 6th position as well. Keeping on what Cummings could do then. Ayrton in a very strong 9th position at the moment then, and keeping Roscoe at bay at the moment. And Slofford set the fast up of the race, said he ain't going to get that point at the moment unless as yellow flag and free then is that Ghost is out of the race, and what a shame now. We didn't see what happened to Ghost under the safety car. Goodness me then. We didn't see what happened under the safety car, and unfortunately for Ghost, but he was pointing, well, he looks like he was off the circuit, wasn't he, in the inside of turn number 6, the mini stadium sector, wasn't it? I'm trying to save my voice because I think that we're going to have another duel. Let me down turn 1. I am absolutely loving it as well. This is brilliant stuff. As they're now coming down the back straight as well. And Energetics then is still in the lead. But look at Velocity, DRS there. He is back in front. And the lead has changed so many times in this Grand Prix. It's absolutely mega. This is what bronze is all about. Then the gun. Look at those brake discs glowing there. Sean Hammers is in 10th for this. He's got past the Ashy, and look at these trader cars. Look at Cart Boy in the background now. I think the cart there is going to be it's going to be a man. It's definitely in the frame of this one, isn't it? This is brilliant stuff, man. Oh, absolutely mega stuff indeed then. And look at this as we're going underneath the rear wing of Velocity once again then. So Velocity is leading the race. Energetic second, Cart in third position. Murphy is 3.5 seconds back and back on board then with Energetic said, as I am leaning from left to right with Energetic said. Velocity is 4/10 second back on. He does have DRS down this short straight then. Curry Red in 5th position, Cummings in 6th, 7th is Mike. Roscoe is 8th then, 9th is Ayrton, 10th position is Sean Hammers, but Sean Hammers is putting the squeeze on Ayrton now, but not as much as what Farf is putting the squeeze on Hammers, and that's the battle for the final point of the Mexican Grand Prix here in Bronson. Lap 29 then, out of 36 as well. Cart is slightly back, but he's still in DRS, and that is a critical part of this lap then. And look at this, that is once again, and now Energetic said, and once again now Energetic is on the outside, isn't he? And once again he is through, and up into The lead of the Mexican Grand Prix then on full velocity was going to stick his nose there into turn 2 and 3. Goodness me, then that would have caught Energetics by surprise. It nearly caught me by surprise as well then. And Velocity is not using DRS down there. Interesting. Has he got a DRS issue there? Velocity has. That'll be quite a bitter pill to swallow at this stage of proceeding as well. Look at this as they're going into the median stadium sector one more time again. Then Ayrton is dropped behind Farf. Farf is out to 9th position as well. Farf having a really good drive out there at the moment. Cummings is on a sensation. Drive as well. Can he stay there? We're also keeping an eye on Roscoe as well. No, Ayrton's back through as well. Far from Ayrton on a great race. And Velocity has got a penalty there, but he's trying to go into the deep end of Energetics. This is amazing. And he's on the outside. He passes Energetics. He's gone wide though. Farf has got a 3-second penalty as well. This is amazing. I reckon Carboy has less penalties. I'll have a look at penalties now actually, because that is one of the newest parts, isn't it? 12 seconds for it's 12 seconds for Velocity. 8 seconds for Energetics. 6 seconds for Car, and Dan is on 3 seconds as well. Oh goodness me then. And now as we're back on board then as a Velocity, we're looking back as well. This is amazing stuff. And look at this, and now Energetics is now side by side with Velocity going into turn 1. And Velocity is so good on the brakes down in turn 1. Isn't it fantastic? Velocity does have quite a lot of penalties. I was quite surprised how many penalties he does have. Ayrton's out of the points then. And look at this, and now Energetics out. Oh my word, there he's squeezing, locking up the inside. Amazing race, and this is absolutely class. I'm loving this. What an amazing battle. Oh, absolutely sensational. Carboy is also there as well. This is amazing. Oh my word there. Hats off to these drivers there. That is absolutely incredible. That's top notch, isn't it, really? I can't even think of any words to really pull it into words of how great that was, apart from perfection, isn't it? Of course, then I'm really enjoying this as well. Really good stuff. I wonder how the drivers feel in the cockpit. I'm certainly absolutely shattered there. I'm absolutely emotionally drained in this race, and there's so many twists and turns here in Mexico, isn't it? But my word, then it's absolutely fantastic as they come out of turn 17 again. Cart now, of course, is on the medium tires. And how long is these soft tires going to last for? Cart now is close to Velocity this time around, and Velocity has dropped off. But of course, let's take a look at them. We're on board. That Cart is gaining. He has less penalties out of all the top 3. Oh my goodness! And he's going to go the inside. They're locking up. And Velocity, once again, Velocity is so good down into turn 1, isn't he? And Cummings has got past. Oh, there's contact there between Cummings and Curly. And Cummings is through and up into 5th position, or is he? Oh my word! There, what is going on here? Then look at them. They're all over the curb. Here comes Roscoe, and Curly there is trying to blow on the squeeze, but it's too late. Roscoe is like a freight train. He is coming. Oh, and now Curly Red going on the inside as well. Roscoe has the outside, and he's going to try and squeeze him on the curb. And Curly has gone off then, and now then, oh, that McLaren has gone straight to the back there, and I think that's damage on Mike, isn't it? It might be damage there. And now look at this. It's Curly Red is trying to take the racing line then, and Farfair is just being squeezed out, wasn't he? Oh, back at the front then, we still got the top 3. Here they are then. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 cars, isn't it? Murphy is now 5 seconds back at the moment then. But Murphy has, oh goodness me, what is going on here? Oh no! Oh my goodness me! They've all gone into the barrier. That is Curly. That is Farford. That is Michael's off as well. That's gone appallingly bad, hasn't it? Oh dear then. Back in the front then. And look at this then. His Velocity is now up in the lead. Once again, he's on the outside, he's on the curb, he's in the lead then. Oh, wow, incredible. Oh, and one lap 32 out of 36 then. I'm going to need an absolute lie down after this, I really am then. And look at this, we've got a yellow flag said it's out of the race as far fed. I'm not sure up there, we caught the end of it, but they were all just going into the barrier there, wasn't it? Mike is also in the pits, and Curly as well. And that is a big blow, isn't it? Now, Newman, who has not been in the points very often in this race, and is all of a sudden in that top 3 battling for position then. He is now in back in front. Oh, where did he come from? Where did Energetics come from? But Cummings has got a 3-second penalty at the moment as well. And we got 5 more laps to go in this race. Oh, Oh my word! Then oh gosh, I got to say this has been this has been my favourite bronze race. I'm not sure anymore, to be honest. I don't even know. So far the race said. So we are down to 15 cars in this Mexican Grand Prix, and I've got to say, over the course of the 3 days here in ALR, it's been really good in terms of the retirement rate. Absolutely fantastic. That lap 33 then, and look at this velocity once again. They're taking more of the inside there as we got to Roscoe, and Roscoe and Cummings are also battling as well then, but look at this and now then Energetics then, I think he might be too far back here, but who knows then, as he's having a look there going in somewhere then, and Cartboy, I'm not sure if he had a bit of problem there, but he was no, I'm not sure about a problem there, but he was lagging a bit then, wasn't he? 4/10 of a second between Velocity and Energetics. Then we've got another 4/10 of a second between Cartboy and Energetics. Remember, Cartboy is a super sub, isn't he? Very much keen to Hulkenberg. And Gunnar is in the points, and he's got past the Ash as well. So Serious Merchant's going to be absolutely delighted with that, isn't he? And I think Gunnar in all this event tonight has had a very strong performance there. Unfortunately, qualifying didn't get to where he wanted to, did it? But the race tonight, but in the race there, he's just been there, hasn't he? He's just kept himself in the performance, and he's done a really good job then, hasn't he? And now then, we're just on board then with Cart. He is the third man in this 3-car train at the moment, and I'm absolutely lost for words in this race. Amazing stuff indeed then. So the top 11 then, I think, are going to be the only one of those cars is unfortunately not going to get any points then. So I think 12 and below is not going to get any points then, because they're too far back now. They're a pit stop behind then. And look at this, once again, they're all slipstreaming each other then. 3 laps to go then. Who is going to win this race? And we know about the penalties to a certain degree. And look at that then. I think Energetics there probably felt he had a lot more, too much speed then. Energetics then going on the outside then. He is taking lead. Cart has got a 3-second penalty as well. Now it's changed around once again. Oh, Cart is going to the back of Velocity. That's damaged the nose cone. Murphy's got a penalty as well. And oh no. And a Cart there has damaged the car. And after all this battling away then, I think that's the first time we've seen damage between these front three. It is the first time we've seen damage between the front three. What a shameful car. Oh my goodness me. Oh, that is such a shame as well. Roscoe and Cummings out. Look at this. He's on the inside of Roscoe. Goodness gracious me. He's going to go on the inside again. He is on the inside again. And he's back up in the 5th. But Roscoe is back up in the 5th once again. And who wants that 5th position? It looks like both of them do. But there's only one man that can get 5th position here tonight. Sean Hammers is the only man who hasn't got a penalty at the moment. And so good something that car is drawn back. And he's now 2 seconds back. That wing damage is going to really hurt him. Is that going to cost him? So Velocity has got another penalty there. Velocity has said. So he's oh goodness me, and Gunnar's dropped out of the points there as Diashi's got past him as well. Energetics, I think, has got the high ground, turn the pounce down, and going back to the penalties then. Look, 15 seconds then of penalties then for Velocity, 9 seconds of penalty for Cartboy. So he needs to keep within 3 seconds of Murphy then. So these penalties are going to be crucial in the and determining the final stands of this Mexican Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic stuff, it really is said. Oh my goodness me. Energetics then is in this race with 2 laps to go then. Velocity is second. He's got a lot of penalties. Car has damaged the car, but if he can keep 3 seconds in front of Murphy, he'll still have that podium. Brilliant stuff indeed. Murphy 4th, Roscoe in 5th position. A great haul of points for the Renault team. Really good stuff indeed then. 6th position is Cummings, 4/10 of a second away from Roscoe. 7th position is Newman. 8th position is Sean Hammers. He's got no penalties at all. Diashi in 9th. Ayrton staying in the points. Gunnar just outside the points. 11th position. He's 1.5 seconds back. Curly 12th. Mike in 13th. Liam 14th. And Smithy in 15th position as well. Roscoe's got a 3-second penalty at this well then. And now coming into the stadium sector there, I think Velocity, he has got one more chance then, albeit he probably knows about the penalty situation, doesn't he? Jeff Wood does tell you a bit about penalties, but I feel that I think that these two know each other so well. I think Velocity would know that Energetics has not got as many penalties as Velocity has played. Just shows that these two not really two guys that get penalties too often in races there. Just shows how difficult it is not to get penalties on this circuit. Sean Hammers has got no penalties. Goodness me, he is superhuman tonight. Fantastic stuff there from Fantastic stuff there from Sean Hammers. I couldn't remember who I was talking about then. Look at this, and then Velocity then, who is just gaining. But as this moment in time then, as I think that all Velocity needs tonight was 4 points, and that's all he needed then for the Drivers' Championship. And he would love to have won this race and really capped off his championship coronation there with a podium or a race win at the very least. At the moment, that podium there is not looking too promising at the moment, now is it, with the amount of penalties and the lack of penalties behind him. But we'll hold our breath then. But Energetics then, this is going to be a 6th Grand Prix win then. And look at Velocity having a lunge there on the inside then, and of course they're throwing caution to the wind there. And Velocity then, he does have the penalties though, doesn't he? As coming out to the final corner as well. Velocity will cross the line first, but it's going to be Energetics' 6th Grand Prix win of the season, and Energetics wins the Mexican Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff. Cardboy in 2nd position there. Velocity down in 3rd position, where Murphy has had issues. Murphy has had some issues there. Now Roscoe's going to come through in 4th position there. Velocity finishes on the podium. Cummings gets his first points out. Sean Hammers a clean race in 4th there. Roscoe 5th, Newman 6th, Diashi in 8th position there. Newman 7th there. Ayrton there coming through in 9th position. And Gunnar is and now Ayrton in 9th position. Gunnar is 9th position. Ayrton 10th. Murphy there, I think he's lost his way going to the pit lane as well. Curley in 11th position there. 12th position will be Mike. Sloth is finished in 14th, and Smithy in 15th. Energetics is 6th Grand Prix win of the season then. But it is Velocity who is the world champion of bronze there, and what a way to cap it off. And he's got 3rd here today then, and that is his 14th podium of his season, and just shows how incredibly impressive he's been this season, doesn't he? And absolutely fantastic stuff. Driver today, Cummings out, no disagreement with me then, but absolutely fine stuff indeed then. Energetics and 6 Grand Prix wins this season. He's got the most wins out of anyone in bronze this season, but unfortunately it's just been his lack of consistency which has probably cost him the title hunt this season. But 6 Grand Prix wins nevertheless, and great performance there from Velocity as well then. And no one's going to be higher up in terms of wins this season, even if Velocity wins the final 2 rounds, because Velocity has got 4 wins, but Velocity has 14 podiums to his name, doesn't he? And but he is not only that, but more importantly, he is the Drivers' Champion of bronze as well. Fantastic stuff there from Velocity. Let's take a final look at the classification then from the Mexican Grand Prix, which started off very wet and also very gloomy as well, but we had a lovely bit of sunshine towards the end there, didn't we? Energetics there won the race, the 6th Grand Prix win the season. Cartboy, his best performance in ALR, and what a result it was tonight. And potentially could have won that race as well. Maybe if he didn't have that extra penalty and that damage as well. Velocity in 3rd position. He is the Drivers' World Champion for bronze. And absolutely fantastic stuff. He did the job tonight then, and he has been in fine form, hasn't he? And with 14 podiums there, he's only not finished on the podium 4 times. Sean Hammers no penalties in 4th. Coming short today, fantastic 5th. Roscoe 6th, Newman 7th, Diashi 8th, Gunnar 9th, Ayrton 10th, Curry 11th, Mike in 12th position, 13th is Murphy, Sloth 14th, fastest lap, 15th is Smithy. Retirements was Farf, Ghost, Rembo and Camera Racer all retired from this epic Mexican Grand Prix. And wow, that was absolutely sensational, wasn't it? Whew. Now I'm just going to sit back and just reflect on what we've just witnessed here. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Sean, Serious Merchant saying Hammers drive the day for me then. And as I just take a look as well, did I just get some points out from Dave Cummings? Yes, you did, my good man. And they were well earned indeed. And he got driver of the day, didn't he, officially? And I've got to say, I think he was fantastic, wasn't he, Cummings today? Really good stuff indeed then. As I was saying, congratulations there to congratulations as well to Velocity as well. Absolutely fine stuff indeed then. So as far as PSN there, it's had a couple of gremlins so far. Let me quickly I don't think I've even got excuse me a minute, and then once I go and find the drivers then to invite into the ode. How do I invite people? Oh, there we go. Let's just view the old profile, shall we? And invite the drivers into the lobby as well. So I'd love to speak to the world champion Velocity. I'd love to speak to Energetics as well, and I'd also love to speak to Carton as well. Diash Shana, blimey, that was close. And Velocity is asking for interviews. I'm just waiting for my PSN to, because it's saying please wait at the moment as it swirls around. Absolutely stunning stuff indeed. That let's get Energetics in first then, as I'm going to leave the... What? No! How do I... Hang on a minute. Oh gosh then. This is why you shouldn't leave me to do my own thing, you see, because I don't have any other idea what's going on then. Right then, excuse the blue screen then, whilst I quickly figure out how to invite people into lobbies and stuff then. Bear with me, folks, then, as... so who am I inviting first? I think it's Energetics, isn't it? It is indeed then, as once again in my PSN is very slow tonight, isn't it? Gosh, so I gotta say, I think I'm more interested in watching progress bars than anything else. Goodness me. Yep, just waiting. Velocity is just hopefully would love to have an interview on it, because he has just won the drivers championship, hasn't he? And I'm just trying my best then to get you all in as well. As unfortunately, Farf's PSN there has had a bit of a crash, a bit like his car tonight as well. But Farf's left the party then, and he has just abandoned me. And you can see on the Facebook stream, all you can see there is my circles going round and round and round, and I'm very impatient here at the moment then, but there we go. I don't think... Do I have them as friends then? 1 second. I gotta say, to be honest, I should have all of ALR drivers as friends there, but nope, no, I can't even connect to the network then. Fantastic stuff it really is, and so that's a bit of a shame that is, isn't it? I'm actually a little disappointed by that, because I wanted to speak to Energetics and Velocity to... just congratulate him on a race well done then. One more time, let's give it one more go, shall we? Because I'm really desperate then to get him into the lobby as well. I'd love to hear what Velocity and Energetics have to say about that race, because that was an epic race, it really was then. Velocity said he would send me an invite if he wants then, so let me see what happens then. So I'm not sure if there's a stream end if I end the party. I have no earthly idea. Oh dear, this is going down like a deflated balloon, isn't it? It says I've also struggled with my voice now as well, because I've shouted too hard. I got a really sore throat all of a sudden. Right, let's give it one more go, shall we? Excuse the blue screen. It's a bit like Video, isn't it? Like if anyone remembers that song, Video killed the radio star. Well, we've gone back to the radio star, aren't we, for the minute? As we're struggling to I'm struggling to load up anything on my friends list as well at the moment, which is such a shame then. I've just been tagged by Farfed, so you know I'm in trouble. But anyway, I've just added the player saying, goodness me, self high five to me. I've done a great job, haven't I? You can see that's why I don't do the lobbies and stuff, because I've no idea what I'm doing. Hopefully we'll get Velocity and Energetics in here, and I think hopefully I would like to get Cart Boy in as well, as well if I can. But we'll talk about Velocity and Energetics first then, and we'll go from there. So just waiting for them to come into the lobby then. Come into the party whenever they do come into the party, and then we'll go from there. Let me also try and invite Cart Boy as well. He is a reserve, but I want to chat to him anyway, don't I? Let's just chat, shall we? I got distracted. Yeah. Well, we've invited him in then, but just waiting for the world champion and the man who has won the most races in the ALR this season, which is Energetics. He's had 6 Grand Prix wins this season. He's been absolutely magnificent. Now we've got Velocity in the chat as well. Fantastic stuff, Ben. Velocity, I got to say, we stayed on there just for you tonight, because I got to say, you've now are the 2nd ever bronze world champion as well. How do you feel?
They need to take some of those out. It's impossible to drop someone.
Yeah, they've had an extra DRS, haven't they, last year, I think. But apart tonight, then, it was getting very heated between yourself and Energetics. The comments were absolutely loving it between yourself and Energetics, and I was loving it as well. Absolutely wild, and you could probably tell from my voice that I'm actually losing it. But your season overall, then, I was talking in the race about it. You've 18 race starts, but you've had 14. You've been on the podium 14 times. You've only not been on the podium 4 times this season. That is absolutely sensational.
Yeah, I wanted it to be 18 of 18, really. I think it could have been if I could have turned up in Japan and didn't get contact in the other 2, but, well, the other 3, but no, it's been a good season, really. Consistency is what I focused on, and it's obviously paid off.
It really has, because in qualifying as well, even with qualifying bans, you've shown that you're so good in the race itself. There, it doesn't really matter about qualifying for you.
No, I think that was the season before last when I couldn't even qualify without putting it in the wall. Yeah, I think that's coming through the pack last season taught me that. A lot of open lobbies as well. Really keeps you on edge and makes sure your racecraft is up to scratch at all times. But yeah, that's what I really focus myself on: consistency and racecraft.
It was a bit, and I got to say that's absolutely nailed done. Your championship this season. Of course, you didn't get your first win into Spain, did you? Which was round 5 this season. But since then, you really took off. The mid-season was where you started to rack up. You had 4 wins in 5 races in that mid-season period. It was amazing stuff, then. Do you think that was the place where you won the title for you?
No, I don't think so. I think I won the title on my podiums, if I'm being honest. The wins, yeah, that's great, but the podiums constantly, week in, week out, is what won me the championship, because as my rivals like Hilkra, Farf when he was here and all that were having issues, I'd still bag a podium. I wasn't the quickest on the track, but yeah, it paid off.
Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. What are you aiming for the rest of the season? Because you and Williams have done it all already in Bronze End. So what's the rest of the season going to hold for you now?
Starting from the back probably each week, seeing what I can do. Have a couple of donuts in Brazil on qualifying, and then see what it's saying from the back of the grid. But I reckon I could possibly get a podium from the back if I try hard enough.
Brilliant stuff indeed. Well done, Velocity, and fantastic. Congratulations on both the drivers and the constructor standings with 2 races to go. You and Nuna have been great in that, Williams, and you've been absolutely perfect when it comes to getting up those podiums, getting those points where you need them as well. Fantastic. With 2 rounds to go, then Velocity is your bronze world champion, and that's where we're going to leave it here for tonight. Then in ALR, we've had a great time in Mexico, haven't we? Fantastic stuff. We're going to Brazil, as Velocity said, in a week's time. Then ALR Gold will be on at 7 o'clock on Sunday then, because of the Sakir Grand Prix is pushing us slightly later than normal then. Join us at 7 p.m. UK time for the gold race as well then. Emerson's going to enjoy himself, isn't he, as he's also wrapped up the gold championship. Goodbye.